Hey, Internet. Welcome to the Intoxicated Podcast, a weekly comedy talk show that dives into the personal lives of comedians, experts, and creators. I'm your host, Sarah McClellan, a very amateur stand-up comedian and self-proclaimed sad girl. Every week, I dive into who people really are, the good, the bad, and everything in between. It's the comedy podcast with a lot of heart. Feel hard and talk hard. This is the Intoxicated Podcast.
We are back, everybody, on the Intoxicated Podcast. We're back. We did it. We made it to another episode. Oh my gosh, you guys. It is so great to be back. I hope you guys loved episode 201 with Serena Haynes. We got so much good feedback about that episode. I mean, I got so many messages, like just with people being like, I enjoyed that so much. It's just what I needed. People were sharing it. So like, just off the top, big thank you for all the support you guys have given us for the first episode back after 5 months of No Intoxicated. So big thank you. And I am here with producer Sarah.
Hello, everybody. Also, thank you for all the love so far.
All of the love.
Also, hello.
And I know it's confusing because we both have the same name. And people might think I'm talking in third person, but we don't have a nickname for you yet. So for now, you're producer Sarah.
I'm usually other Sarah, but then you're other Sarah.
I don't like that, though. I think you should be either producer Sarah or like Sarah N. Or like, have you ever had a nickname?
Yeah, I had Cream Puff for a long time. And then I also had...
I don't know if I love that or not.
My rapper name was Little Twiz for a long time.
Little Twiz?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe let us know, listeners, what you think Sarah's nickname should be, to make this less confusing in the intros. But yeah, we're excited to be back. Have you done any comedy this week? I forgot to ask you that. You haven't, right?
I haven't done comedy this week, but next week it's ramping up.
Next week it's ramping up. I did comedy on the Commons last night, which was very, very interesting because people actually did come out. But it was very weird doing comedy in a field, like for a group of people. And there was a really funny moment, and this person might actually listen. So shout out to Maureen. But there was a moment just before the show started that someone showed up with children, and all the comics just started panicking. And like Durham went over and was like, just so you know, it's a comedy show. Are you still okay with this? And they were okay with it. And we went on with the show. But I happen to know a lot of us tried to censor our jokes. I scratched out some jokes because I just knew that there was no way I could do them clean. But then at the end of the show, I realized it was my friend Maureen, who's a regular at Oasis, who was there with her kid and then her friend and some other kids.
Oh,
so she was the one in that group, and she came up and she was just like, and the funniest thing ever was like, Durham came over at one point and he goes, I put you and Scott back to back. If you don't walk them, he will. But we didn't walk them. They stayed for the whole show, and it was really funny at the end because I was like, hey kids, did you enjoy the show? And one of them went, kinda. Just so honest. I loved it. I loved it so much. But yeah, that was an interesting experience. People say that I didn't bomb, but I felt like I bombed because like when people laughed, you couldn't really hear the laughter that well.
That must have been such a terrifying venue. That was kind of like the yacht club though when I performed there, because like there's the bottom of the yacht club, then there's the top of the yacht club. Yeah. And like you can't see anybody and you can't hear anybody, but people are there. And like they told me I did a good job afterwards, but I felt like I bombed because like I thought I was performing for one person.
Well, that's just it, right? Like there was definitely times that I heard laughter, but there was definitely times that I heard silence, and it just felt like a worse silence because you're like in this wide open space. But yeah, no, it was interesting. I'll just use the word interesting. I will do it again for sure, because now I'm determined to do well there, and I'm going to use it as motivation to go back. So big shout out to Comedy on the Commons. So this is run by Durham Laporte, and it is every Tuesday at 9 p.m. on the corner of Roby and Quinpool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good directions. I'd have been like, it's the Commons. You'll find it.
Yeah, it's pretty much on the corner there, like that baseball field. And I believe that it is going to be done until it's too cold not to. So come on out on these summer nights while you still can. But we're going to get into a topic for this intro. We'll try to do like a topic every time. One thing that's been going on with me this week, and also I gotta say some of my friends too, it just seems like it's in the air right now, is getting ghosted. Dun dun dun. I don't know if I want to put in like ghost sound effects here.
Yeah, that was
like,
I tried to do a ghost sound effect. It didn't work though.
Boo. Ghosted. So I've been thinking a lot about this week. Because, and I'll just be vague with this because I don't know if this person is going to tune in or not, but like I kind of had a little bit of a ghosting situation over text with someone that I thought I was going to meet up with, and then just nothing. I had a good friend of mine get incredibly ghosted after like a month of seeing somebody. And so her and I have been talking about this a lot. Have you ever been ghosted, Sarah, in your life?
I haven't, but I have done the ghosting. Like I've been on the flip side of it.
Okay, so save that opinion because that's going to be one of my questions, which is to defend ghosting. But we're going to get into what we think is the definition of ghosting, or what defines a ghost. You know what I mean? Like what does ghosting mean? And let me just see. Well, first of all, I did ask Instagram, have you ever been ghosted? And 65% of my followers on my personal Instagram, Sarah Mackle, said yes. 35% said no. So high percentage. None of that 65% was at the Commons last night because I have a joke about it, and I asked the crowd, have you ever been ghosted? And it was dead silent. So
how appropriate.
So great to see. So that's kind of interesting. So it's a high percentage. And then I asked, in your mind, what counts as ghosting? Okay, so I got a bunch of responses.
Yeah. I
will read some on here. So someone said there's an ongoing conversation, a few dates, then nothing. They disappear. Okay. Someone not messaging you back suddenly. Someone else said no responding, no reason, explanation after a date, or maybe a good exchange. Someone else said completely ignoring someone you were previously chatting with no reason why. Serena Haynes, I want to shout her out because she answered. She said them disappearing mid good connection. Yeah. Maybe after a few weeks. Okay. Brittany Campbell, I'm just going to say the people who I know are public facing people. Brittany Campbell, comedian, said being involved and both showing intentions of continuing that, and then one person floating away. I hope she doesn't mean literally, like in the movie Up, just like floating into the sky.
Just like in a hot air balloon. Goodbye.
That would be the most beautiful ghosting ever. Someone else said no longer responding or initiating any contact. See, there's different opinions here. Another person said if you've gone on at least one date, made plans for another, and then the motherfucker stops responding. And then here's another few. Seemingly great connection, great conversations, and then all of a sudden a stop to all of it. And then someone else said chatting a couple times, then gone without a trace. So there's different opinions of this. Some people think it's a timing thing. You need to have met, you need to have gone on dates. A lot of other people say you don't necessarily need the dates, you just need that connection or like that talking for the ghosting to happen. So I took this a bit further and I said, does it count as ghosting if you've never met up? And 60% said yes. 40% said no.
Wow.
So what do you think? Do you think you've had to have met the person to have it be considered a ghost?
It's such a weird thing for me because like I don't think I was in the dating game long enough to really get the experience and figure it out. But I totally agree with what Serena said.
Yeah. It's like a good
sure.
It's whatever that connection is, whether it's talking or or hanging out in person or seeing somebody. My definition doesn't involve needing dates. I don't think that there should be a date minimum. Mm-hmm. Although I think I said it on Geneva's episode that you've gone on a couple dates, so maybe I'm backpedaling because I'm just hurt right now from that could be it. Yeah. But my thing is like, if you're chatting, if you're texting or talking on a dating app, and then there's intention of meeting up, like we should get drinks, we should hang out, and then someone takes it a bit further and says we should do that soon. And then no response. And then writes you back again and goes, I'm free these days. How about you? And then nothing back. That's kind of, in my mind, a mild ghosting. Because there was intention. There was, it was a week of talking, which I think is quite a long time for a busy person like myself. And it just makes me mad that people just can't take the time to just go, I'm just not feeling this anymore. Best of luck. I'm just not feeling this anymore. Best of luck. 2 sentences.
Yeah. I'm really big on communication.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why people can't do that. It blows my mind. But I think that you did get ghosted in a way because there is intent and there was connection.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I agree. Ding.
And there was like some sort of like lead, like there wanted to be something there, if that makes any sense.
There was flirting for sure. I mean, if the guy tells you he's going to make a TikTok with you and then doesn't, that's a ghost.
Ding ding.
That's what I think. But I think what we've all learned here is that everyone has kind of a different definition of it. But I think we can all agree that like human decency is nice. And having
be honest.
Be open and honest. Be honest with people. So in defense of ghosting, I got a lot of responses again. So some defenses of like defending ghosting somebody, if someone's very disrespectful, that's fair. I guess you don't know if someone's disrespectful for you, you have every right to just cut it off, and I guess you don't have. I'm the type to just want to tell people off. I don't really have the strength to like just stop talking. If you catch on to red flags, okay, but also I'm like, why not tell the person that? Why not make it a teachable moment and make that person aware of what they're doing? That's just kind of how I think. Let me see here. I guess unless they're committed, they probably don't owe anything to the ghosty. See, I'd beg to differ on that. You're wasting someone's time. They're just waiting around for you.
Yep.
If you feel like the person is a threat to your safety, that's fair. Yeah, someone else wrote safety too. I don't think it is, but I did it after one very awkward date. It was mean and I regret it. Oh, interesting.
It is interesting.
This one tickles me pink here. Tickles me pink? Is that a phrase?
That's a phrase. I've never heard you say that before.
This one's interesting. In my case, he was married and hid that bit of information, so I was pretty okay when I found out.
Whoop.
See, I'm never okay with it. I just feel like it's the least you can do, is to be honest. And that's that. But do you want to quickly give your why you ghosted when you did it?
It was kind of weird though, because I ghosted the guy that I was dating for 6 years because it was just like the end of our relationship and I didn't know how else to end it. So I just stopped messaging him and just like deleted his number and like blocked him on social media. But to be fair, it was a very toxic situation.
Okay. Well, wow. Okay. You just dropped a big bomb in this intro. You guys are gonna have to tune into Sarah's solo episode of Intoxicated.
Just get a little taste there.
That was just a little tease. Dear Lord. Yeah, we cannot wrap this up in a quick amount of time, but that's wild.
No, but that's what you get.
I'm so anti-ghosting. I think it's so damaging. I think it is cowardly. I truly think it's one of the best things you can give someone is just a little bit of an explanation or the tiniest amount of closure. Tiny, tiny, tiny. It's just enough to be better than nothing, in my opinion. But
that makes sense for sure.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Well, we're going to get into the episode now. And before we get to this episode, just some really quick call to actions. Please remember that you can send in your life questions, dilemmas, rants, really truly anything. We love a life dilemma though. So like advice questions would be awesome. You can send those in via voicemail or through email, which is intoxicatedpodcast@gmail.com. The voicemail link is in the description of this podcast. It's also in the link in our Instagram bio. Do be sure to also follow Intoxicated on social media. Instagram is fire. We have a fire Instagram. Please follow us on there. Intoxicated Podcast on Instagram, also on Facebook. Follow. We are also looking for music. So if you guys heard last week's episode, you would have heard the amazing song by Jade Bennett, who hopefully will be a guest soon on the show. Damned by Jade Bennett. Such a good song. I'm like obsessed with that song. We want more music from you local bands, musicians, artists. So if you are local, and by that I mean, I would say Canadian. Although we're in the East Coast, but as long as you're Canadian, that'd be awesome. You can email MP3 files to intoxicatedpodcast@gmail.com. Just include the song name, song title, a link to whatever streaming service you want me to link to, and the file. And we'll put it in the episode.
Woohoo! How fun is that?
So please send in music. Or if you know of like a good local person, suggest it to us because we are looking for that. And obviously, subscribe. Leave a review. I would love more reviews. You can leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Helps out with the visibility of the show.
Love visibility.
Okay. This week's episode.
Here we go.
This week's episode is with comedian Etay Kuperman. He hails from Toronto, but he spent a lot of time in Halifax recently, and we love Etay, don't we? We're big Etay fans.
Just like the sweetest man.
Sweetest man. He is the nicest guy. So he is what we would call a nice guy with a bad reputation. Mm-hmm. That's what he said in this episode, that he is a nice guy with a bad rep. So this was a really fun conversation. We did talk about a little bit about cancel culture. We talked about, romanticizing, being positive over being negative, the importance of that. We talked about anxiety because we're all anxious balls of neuroses.
Anxious beans.
We did talk a lot about comedy as well. So this was a great episode. But what I loved the most about this episode is just how confident and straightforward Etay was with his opinions. Like he seemed to be very, this is just my opinion. This is what I think. And, knew what he thought. For his age, which he's a young guy.
A young beast.
So
and he was
awesome.
I like how he wasn't aggressive with his opinion though.
Yes, not aggressive at all. It was like talking with a koala bear. Now that I think about it, I think koala bears are a little bit aggressive sometimes. Sorry about that, Etay.
Very aggressive.
I was trying to compliment you, Etay. But this was so super fun. So you're going to want to follow Etay Kuperman. Yeah, it is Etay Kuperman on Instagram. I will link below to that. Please give him a follow and stay up to date on what he is doing in comedy. He is back in Ontario as of now, I believe, but yes. Hopefully he will be around again. And, I think he's great at what he does and just such a nice guy. So this was a really fun conversation. And we hope you enjoy this week's episode with Etay Kuperman. That's my heart lying on the floor. And I don't care enough to pick it up. Oh no, that's my heart lying on the floor. Yeah, I don't care enough to pick it up. Dream about your body in a hot sun, sundress on, dilated cream, kissing underwater with his shoes on, like a jewel song in the summer heat. Do you get into like really deep combos with people a lot?
Are we recording right now?
We are.
Okay, sorry, I'm just making sure. I'm making sure. Like, this is part of it? Yeah.
I love a cold open.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I'm a bit of an intense person. Sometimes I've been described as that before. So I feel like I can make intense friendships and intense relationships like right away. and I'll have like, I don't know, some one of my good friends, this girl I met like literally 3 weeks ago. First day I worked with her, she was telling me about her boyfriend that just broke up with her that morning for some reason. You know what I mean?
So people open up easily to you.
Yeah, I think so, because I'm very open, and I guess I ask a lot of questions. And
I love this. You're gonna be such a good podcast guest.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we might as well just get into it, everybody. I mean, if you're good to get into it,
I'm good.
I like to just dive right in, raw dog. You know?
Yeah, of course. What else is there to do?
Yeah. Who needs podcast foreplay?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Podcast foreplay is for chumps.
Yeah.
Is what I say. Everybody, welcome back to the Intoxicated Podcast. I am so excited to be here with stand-up comedian Etay Kuperman.
That's it. That's me.
I said your name right.
That was it. You spot on.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I also, like, before this, I forgot to ask you, like, if there's anything else I should call you other than comedian. Is there anything else?
That's probably my monocle. That's my title. That's it. That's all it is. That's my that's my
Claim to fame?
That's my identity, and I have nothing else going for me. Is what I'm trying to say.
Aren't you like a scientist or something?
I have a degree. I have a science degree. I never used it for anything. I kind of finished it up, and I thought I'm never gonna touch this ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I went to school for stats and math. My major was stats. My minor was math, and I coded a bunch in school, and I just.
Oh, smarty pants.
That's the jury's still out, but that's what they all say.
What drew you to that? Like, were you just always good at it in school?
I was always good at math growing up, and it was what I thought I'd want to do for a while. Because when I was in school or when I was young, I thought kind of get a job, make money. That was kind of like 1 and 2 of your goals. And then only when I started to get older, I started to think, what do I actually want to do with my life? Like, do I want to not waste my life? Because a lot of people who do like are data scientists and are mathematicians,
they love it. Probably
they love it. Yeah, but I didn't. So
I find that that's the case with so many people who get degrees. They're like, they're only doing it because they think that that's what they should be doing. Yeah,
you're pushed in there at 18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to really make a decision about your life at that age.
Your brain isn't fully developed until you're 25.
Yeah, exactly. And, you're coming out of high school where all you did was be in school. So you don't really know what else there is.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I do think there's value in going to university because you do get the critical thinking.
Yeah.
You do get to learn that. It's just a very expensive way to learn that.
Yeah.
Just start comedy and then and then you'll do critical thinking every minute of your life.
Yeah. You're right. There's other ways to go about it for sure.
Yeah.
Embarrass yourself in an open mic for years.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
But like so for those who don't know, Etay, so you're new to this comedy scene.
Yeah.
So tell us about the journey to how you got to Halifax, like where you're coming from.
Yeah. So I started doing comedy my last year at school. I did 5 years, so I did comedy all throughout my last year at school, and literally like my last year of school was when Corona hit. So I guess that was 2020 was when I was about to I graduated in the spring of 2020. So when Corona hit, I kind of moved back home with my parents. I was doing comedy in London, Ontario, by the way.
Ooh.
And so that's where I started doing comedy, and then kind of throughout the pandemic doing comedy all over, driving different places, just wherever I can get on stage. And so my roommate in college is doing his master's at Dalhousie, and I was just on the phone with him in September, and he's just telling, and I'm complaining about all my shows getting canceled, and he was like, yeah, things are open here, why don't you just come live on my floor? And I'm like, all right, that sounds like a plan. I slept on his floor for a month, then found my own place, but yeah, that's what brought me here.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So you came specifically for comedy.
Yeah.
It's not like you came for other reasons and then was like, oh, I'll just do comedy while I'm here. Like you have a mindset of like, I will go to where there is comedy.
Yeah. I thought, why not chase the mics, and I thought it was gonna be an adventure too. I didn't think of it as a detrimental part of my life. It's not like I was quitting a job or doing anything drastic like that. I did quit a job, but it was like a servant job. It wasn't like a corporate hedge fund job,
Right. It's kind of this weird freedom, I think. Because how old are you again?
I'm gonna be 24 on Sunday.
24 on Sunday.
Thank you.
Cancer.
Yeah, I'm a Cancer. I'm very emotional.
Cancer man here.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get into that when we get to the assumptions.
All right. I might have broken the assumption already, but
that is so interesting. So you came and so you got here in January of this year.
Yep.
What did you think? What well, actually, I shouldn't say did. What do you think of the Halifax scene?
It's good. There's a lot of strong comedians, and there's a lot of people pushing, making shows all over the place. You know, it's very similar to my time in London, because London is probably like a city of a similar size. Obviously, Halifax is a lot nicer than London, but similar thing. In London, we had 3 open mics per week. You guys had like, I guess, 4 or 5, but we had 3 open mics per week and some pro shows on weekends and a Yuck Yucks. So
nice.
Similar kind of ordeal, small town feel. Yeah,
it's a mix of things. I think it's so important to have that club.
Yeah,
like having the club in a scene is so key. Yeah, and for a while there, we didn't have a club.
I know, and then you guys had 2.
We did.
Yeah.
And then we're back to having 2,
COVID's coming back, I think, in the end of August.
Back in Burnside, which means I'll never go there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's less ideal than it was. It was in a really good spot before, but
it was in a really good spot before.
Yeah. Honestly, it was a good place to work. I did a lot of shows there. It was fun.
Which reminds me that's kind of where I met you. Well, I think I had seen you.
Yeah.
I had seen you, I think, at Daily Grind. No, I definitely saw you at Gus's when you came and watched, because I remember.
Yeah.
I was like, who's this new young male comic
yeah.
just coming in? Like, I don't know. I just remember specifically a vibe that I got from you.
Yeah.
But that vibe, obviously, we'll get to it. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah. No worries.
But we did kind of talk initially at Cove when the amateur night. I believe,
yeah.
Kind of started talking.
I was in my shell for a bit, and then eventually started to get out of my shell, and I think we were drinking at Oasis one time.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, we were drinking. That's when I really started to talk to you guys. You know, coming up, staying after shows, hanging out with the comics.
Which is so important, by the way. I think people tend to forget how social stand-up is.
Yeah.
And that can be kind of a shitty thing about comedy, but also a great thing about it. It's kind of a weird double-edged sword. Like, I do know a lot of people who have early bedtimes, and they miss out on these moments after shows. But I think that's the magic of doing stand-up.
I know.
Is that after the show, talk with all these weirdos that are just like you. Mm-hmm. You know?
You're right. There's a fine line between, you got to like spend time after the show, but you can't that can't be the only reason why you do shows. It's really like yeah, it is. It's a weird balance for sure. But shit,
you're social, and
you do comedy because you like comedy, you like comedians, and comedians talk about comedy, and so you gotta you gotta like it.
And we're the same. We think the same way.
Yeah,
I think too. Like there's a definite difference when I hang out with like what I call normies.
Yeah, civilians. Yeah.
And comedians, like, I don't know, like I'm a lot more nervous to say certain things around non-comedians.
Yeah, comedians are your brethren. They really understand what you're going through and the trials and tribulations of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're like warriors on the field together.
Yeah. So you gotta you gotta
bond. You gotta bond with each other.
You do.
But guys, we're gonna get into the first segment of the show. So assumptions. Don't punch me in the face. Ow. So this is where I'm going to tell you what my first impression of you was.
Hit me.
Which is, I kind of thought, this is going to be a frat boy asshole.
Yeah. I've heard that before. I'm so sorry.
I hate just saying it to you right now.
Yeah, it's okay. This is a side story, but I befriended those 2 girls that go to Gus's pub all the time, Sarah and Sue. I work with Sarah, and I became like a third Sarah.
Another Sarah.
Yeah, I befriended them, and I asked them what they thought of me when I first saw me. They thought I seemed slimy on stage.
So this is the thing. So I actually do remember.
Yeah.
Seeing you and. This is what I'll say, okay? Yeah. I'm going to defend my assumption.
Go ahead.
Because I saw you initially at Gus's.
Yeah.
And then I saw you at Daily Grind.
This must have been in January. This must have been, was this Showcase Week or the week before Showcase Week?
Oh, gosh, I don't even remember. It was probably definitely like around that time.
Yeah, because that was my first show. It was Daily Grind the week before Showcase Week, and then I did.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
That was my first show, and then they threw me on Showcase Week the next week, which was very nice of them.
The whole Showcase thing, I got put on a Showcase too. And I got so in my head about it.
Yeah.
As a stupid new comic, being like, is it too soon for me to be on this? Are people going to think that it's too soon for me to be on this? Like, Martin asked me, well, it must be because I'm good. But, like, what does this mean? Like, I overthought that. I actually did really well. I messed up my opener. But other than that, I did well.
No, that's good. It honestly meant nothing. Like, in the grand scheme of things, really, but being honest, like.
Really, it's you're really just showing your array of jokes for someone who might possibly book you as a guest spot.
I feel like it was a formality. You know what I mean? Yeah. Honestly, like I feel like whoever he was gonna book for the guest spots were who he was gonna book before. But also, like, you know what? Like maybe I'm wrong. I could be maybe I'm a cynic. Who knows?
I think it really was just them scoping out people.
Yeah.
Which I mean, in and of itself is a compliment that like you would get put on a showcase and be able to go, okay, here's like my best stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like here's like a non-open mic set where these are the jokes that I'm most proud of. But like I'm still so new that I'm like, I don't even know if I'm proud of these jokes yet.
Yeah. No.
You know? So it's just a weird thing.
Oh, I can't believe some of the material I was doing way back when for the biggest show of my life at that point. I can't believe some of the stuff I was doing and picking, but also like, you know, you growing pains and you figure it out. Growing pains.
Yeah. But yeah, so the assumption I had of you, and I think when I saw your comedy, because you had an energy of like, I don't want to say it was a ranty energy. It was a little ranty. Would you call it kind of ranty?
Yeah, I'm not too joke heavy. I actually
love I love a ranty.
Yeah, I'm a little more ranty. Like I talk a bit more. I'm kind of saying I'm very acty.
You have energy.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And the thing is like, I think for me, because I was in that state, I was like, male comics.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then when I actually met you, and like I saw you at Cove, and I kind of like really listened then, and like was like, oh no, you're actually really good stage presence.
Yeah.
And, like really good energy on stage. And then when you were really nice to me after the show, I was just like, this guy's nice?
Yeah.
What?
Nice.
And I think you like mentioned, you were like, oh, I like this specific joke you did. And I was like, he listens to female comics?
Oh, yeah.
What? And I was just like, this guy's a gem.
I listen to everybody, yeah. But no, I appreciate that. And
So I was very wrong, and I'm not even going to let you defend the assumption because I know I was wrong. Yes. But you say that you do get that sometimes.
I've gone before, and I can see some of the material I do is a little like, you know,
it's just a little like
it's a little greasy. I can get that, but I also like kind of like it. I don't know. Also, I'm changing. I'm writing different stuff. Like, so
let yourself do whatever you want to do at this stage.
Yeah.
Also, you're 24.
Yeah.
Of course you're going to have jokes about those types of things that might trigger me, a 34-year-old woman.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, it makes total sense for you to be writing jokes about the things you're joking about. Like, it's a weird thing, but no, I think you're great and very nice guy right here. I wouldn't have asked him on the show if you weren't actually nice.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. Yeah. No, I try my best. I definitely try my best.
Nice guy, Etay.
That's it. Yeah. Nice guy gets a bad rap. But yeah.
Does that offend you though? Like,
no,
when people think that?
I don't really, I don't know. I'm not particularly mean. I never thought I was a mean person. I never have been a mean person. But I don't know. I've fucked up from time to time. Yeah.
Well, we all have. That's the glorious part of it.
Exactly. I'm not perfect. But yeah, you know, I try your best.
Are you like someone who's a big partier?
Not anymore. I used to be way more of a partier. I think doing comedy has really consumed me a lot. But also, I'll get hammered after a show once in a while. I'll be honest.
There it is.
I'm a bit of a. I still am a bit of a drinker, but not like blackout at a club or anything. Just like blackout in my living room. Like,
but
you know what
honestly, I mean? Like that again. You're 24. Like,
yeah.
You should be drinking.
Yeah.
Well, not should, but it is. That's part of the experience of being in your 20s, right?
Nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with it as long as you do it safe. You don't drive.
Yeah.
You don't text your ex.
Do that from time to time, but who doesn't? It's good for the soul. Text them at 3 a.m.
Yeah, it is. That is. Take the phone away.
Yeah.
When I'm drinking, it's not a good thing to have.
Yeah.
Okay, so we botched the assumption. So next segment, I need to rant. Ranting. So I mentioned this in the first episode, but like, you know, I think people bond over what we hate. I think that's a great way to bond with somebody.
Yeah.
Is to complain with them.
Yeah.
So Etay, what is your rant?
I'll have a bit of a rant. I'm sure you'll. Who knows if you'll agree? I think most at least comics would agree. I'm really and I think this is a good place to talk about it. I'm really sick and tired of a lot of the canceling comics that goes on. I have a couple cases that I brought up, like whatever happened to Tony Hinchcliffe a couple months ago, and then whatever happened to Andrew. It was the guy in England, Andrew Lawrence, I believe his name is.
Okay.
Yeah, and he same with Tony Hinchcliffe. They made a bad joke. Don't get me wrong. Like the Andrew guy made a bad joke over the English Euro Cup final last weekend.
Oh, okay.
And he made it was definitely it was not a good joke. Don't get me wrong. And it was slightly racist, but at the end of the day, it was a joke. And his agent dropped him. And any comic who works for that agent should drop that agent, because that agent is not looking out for your best intentions at all. If the minute something happens, the guy is just gone with the wind. You want an agent like in Californication. You know what I mean? Do you like that show? Yeah.
Yes!
That's the kind of agent you're looking for. Some guy will actually be on your team and actually have your back. And it's just in today's, it's just it's upsetting. I whatever Tony Hinchcliffe did, it was a bad joke. Don't get me wrong.
I want to know what the joke was now.
You never heard about the Tony Hinchcliffe thing?
No, I didn't.
He Tony Hinchcliffe one was pretty not severe. I don't know if I'll get it. I'll tell you he asked this guy to come open for him, and the guy opened for him twice. So Tony Hinchcliffe asked for him to come back and open for him, and he was Asian, and he was I don't know what, but he was Asian, and Tony Hinchcliffe said some mildly racist stuff about Asians to open up the set, where he was roasting the guy, but the guy posted the video. The guy that opened for Tony posted the video. So the guy that opened for him basically was this, and Tony asked for him to come back, and this dude just tweeted out, no context, nothing. And yeah.
That right there, the word context.
Yeah.
That's what I have issue with.
Yeah.
It's the same reason, and this is kind of on a similar subject, but I posted on I did something wild, and I posted on Instagram, is it a red flag that I listen and watch Rogan?
Yeah.
And people do not like Joe Rogan.
What were the responses?
You want to know why they don't like Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
Because he says stupid shit sometimes. Listen, guys, if you're talking for fucking 3 hours multiple times a week, how many episodes does this guy have? Over 2,000 episodes? Thousands, probably millions at this point, hours of content on the internet.
Yeah.
Of course, you're going to... And when you're in a conversation like this, you're kind of free-flowing. You say some shit. Clips get posted out of context, and then people make judgments, and they don't. And I just go, unless you listen to the whole episode, your opinion is based in no context.
Yeah,
I truly think that, and maybe that's just me as a podcaster also being please don't cancel me for things like that.
Yeah,
but it is. I hate that. I hate when people make judgments and they don't know the full story. Yeah,
and that's the big part, knowing the full story. It's tough. You can't watch every single 3-hour episode, but you also don't have to judge every single clip you see. You don't have to have a distinct, this was horrible that he said this, or this was good that you know what I mean? And Rogan has literally everybody on the podcast. He has right-wing, left-wing, bisexual, trans. Everybody's been on the podcast.
Oh, but if he challenges anything, he's an asshole.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And he's very, I don't know, he's smart in a way.
He's very smart.
Yeah.
And trust me, I'm not out here saying he's perfect. And I'm not even out here saying that I agree with everything he says.
Oh.
But I'm out here saying he is, what he's doing is he's opening up these conversations.
Yeah.
He's having these conversations. They're not easy to have. You're going to say things that you might have looked back and gone, should have said that differently because I can see how it would be implied. I think it's just such a tricky time right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know when this started. It must have been the last 4 years, maybe 3 or 4 years that the cancel culture has really ramped up. Really since Me Too, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Me Too movement really ramped it up.
It's kind of all at once, but also slow. There's no definitive, point where it started. But yeah, it is wild to see people lose their careers.
And it's comedians.
Yeah.
Who are the ones who are losing jobs because of the art that they're creating that that they're creating.
Yeah.
If you are someone consuming comedy, you should kind of know what comedy is.
Yeah, yeah. No, and
jokes.
Exactly. And people I don't know, I made a bad joke before. Everyone has. Everyone is, whether your favorite comedian is Dave Chappelle or whoever your favorite comic is, they made a bad joke before where that was not good. And they, and people, it's okay.
It's the equivalent of saying something stupid to your friend.
Yeah.
If we can put it in even normal terms for normies, you say something stupid in the heat of the moment to a friend. You don't mean it.
Yeah.
They probably know you don't mean it.
Yeah.
But then it's, you're done.
You're done. You're
done. There's no chance. People aren't allowed to mess up now.
Yeah, they're not. You're right.
Is the issue.
You have to be perfect. And what do they want from Tony Hinchcliffe? Do they want this guy to be bagging groceries? Like, what do they expect? What do they want this to happen out of all this?
It's a weird thing too. Like, I don't necessarily think cancel culture is a full thing as well.
Yeah.
Because does it really ruin lives? It might lose you a job.
Yeah.
But for example, Bill Cosby is on Twitter now.
Yeah.
That guy's just out there now living his life. This guy raped so many people.
Yeah. I'm curious, if he's going to go on, he says he's going to go on tour again. Are people going to buy tickets? Like, what's going to happen?
Yes, they will.
I guess so, yeah.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah. Cosby's a little too big to cancel. I think people don't realize how big this guy was. He was like the #1 comic in the world for years. I
didn't even know he did stand up.
Oh yeah, because he was doing so much other stuff. He was like his freaking show, like all the shows, all the movies. Oh my god, yeah, it's crazy.
It's a very strange, and it does make you. Do you find that it makes you less likely to take risks with jokes because of this? Sort of sensitive time.
I don't know. I don't know. I think, it's tough. I try to take as many risks as I can.
Yeah.
I think I still want to take risks. I don't really think about it like that. Also, I'm not in any position to get canceled. I don't have an agent. You know what I mean? No agent's gonna drop me because I don't have one. Like.
This is the joy of being new.
Yeah.
A new comic.
Yeah.
You really don't have much to lose.
Exactly. Like
what you say.
I'm at open mics. No one's gonna cancel me over what I said in an open mic. You know what I mean? Like that's the truth. That's the truth. If I have a Netflix special, maybe I'll.
At worst, someone will post on the Facebook page of the venue and be like, "I hated this comic."
Yeah.
You know, that would be the worst thing that could happen to an open micer.
Yeah, and you know what I mean. Like, yeah, you gotta be. I've seen some people say actually absolutely horrible stuff on stage, but I don't think I say anything horrible. But who knows? Maybe the day will come.
Maybe you'll get there.
Yeah, maybe I'll get there.
I've definitely I had a whole joke about Britney Spears before Free Britney was as big as it is. It was still a thing.
Yeah.
But before it was around the time that she was kind of being made fun of a lot online because her Instagrams were so wacky.
Yeah.
I had this joke about her, and that's one that I'm iffy to do now.
Yeah.
Because things have shifted and people have gotten way more sensitive towards it. So.
And that's understandable. Things shift. The political climate shifts. Our knowledge of the situation shifts.
It does.
So it's okay to think about it in that kind of text. And that's the thing with what we said before. It's you could be wrong. We could all be freaking wrong with the shit we say.
Yeah.
And you're wrong. You're wrong.
Can we let people be wrong? Can we just let people make mistakes?
Yeah.
And then see what they do with those mistakes? I'm not saying to give 1,000 chances.
Yeah.
Well,
one.
There's lines. There's lines for sure, and it all depends on what you've done, I think. But it's just a weird time where you have to be fucking perfect all the time, and I don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It's have to be perfect, and there's no chances.
No,
it's one strike, you're out.
The world is a fucking what zodiac sign holds grudges a lot?
Leo.
Oh, a Leo.
Gemini.
The world is a Leo.
The world's a Leo.
Or a Gemini.
Yeah.
Oh man. So you mentioned to me, and maybe this is kind of on the same subject, but you said that you have some comedy hot takes.
That was my big.
That was your big one.
That was a big hot take. My second hot take. Maybe I'll say
love
this.
a hot take.
Maybe I'll say that. I think this is I do this a lot, and I think a lot of people do this a lot. We kind of romanticize being a struggling, a depressed artist, and I do that. I do that for a long. I still do that a lot, but we got to try our best not to, and romanticize happiness over depression. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Says the guy who's in Sad Girl Studios.
Yeah.
I'll show you my new cover art photo after this.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
It's that's fascinating. So do you consider yourself a super positive guy?
No way. I think I definitely I can battle with, like there's like a fine line, because as a comic, like, you bitch, you complain, like, you should be able to bitch and complain about things, but I don't know. I definitely was like I would romanticize being like depressed almost. And I think it's a very,
so what do you mean by romanticize though?
like, it's such an in fashion thing. You know what I mean? It's so in fashion to be like,
I'm mentally ill.
Yeah, like, and I missed this, I missed that, and like, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost in fashion to be unhealthy. You know what I mean?
I would agree. I think that's part of like this new generation being so open about mental health. It's almost to a point that if you are mentally healthy, you're not cool.
Yeah. You're right about that.
Which I think, like, I mean, I probably won't find you as interesting, to be honest. But there's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
If you're fine and like had a great childhood. And I also am like, I don't know if I believe that. I think that a lot of that is perception.
Yeah. A lot of it is perception, but ignorance is bliss almost. If you don't like, ignorance is bliss. But yeah, I've had my battles with anxiety and depression in the past, but it happens.
Let's get into that. So
yeah, I think I was I was pretty sad for a while, and then it turned into anxiety.
Oh, so it started with sadness.
Yeah, I was pretty down for like about a year, but but that's like, you got to choose to like be better, like try to work on it, and like, I don't know, work out more, and like actually eat better, and just try to take better care of yourself and try to fix it. Don't just like stew in it. Do you know what I mean?
That is very key.
Yeah.
Scott McLean would agree with you.
Yeah,
he's a big proponent of exercise for.
Oh, it's yeah. It changes, like, literally like exercising releases serotonin and dopamine, and it literally cures depression. It's like taking an antidepressant. Yeah. So.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you, and I think a lot of times that I get angry with myself, it's because I'm purposely neglecting those things that would make me feel better, and I just go, fuck, I just didn't. I'm bailing on myself by not sleeping or like eating well or like just going for a goddamn walk. Like that's the least you could do, really.
Literally, like,
is go for a walk.
Yeah, and you gotta, it makes everything better.
Makes everything better.
Yeah, but also, like, I could potentially get pretty down next week. So like, it could happen. I'm not saying I'm perfect, and I'm not saying I'm completely like satisfied with my journry in this. But
how old were you when you started feeling depressed?
I was like 21. I was thinking it was 2021. Yeah, a lot was going on. Like, and like you're like 2021. Like, you're in a freaking tumultuous time in your life. Lots of shifts are happening. So
you wait.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure. Like, and like I said, like, shit could get bad, like, in a little bit, and like literally last month when it was in quarantine, there was like definitely a time where I was like, fuck, this is horrible, and like pretty down, but you gotta try to recover.
I really pity young people during lockdowns, like to not have like your youth. Like it's one thing for me, like, I don't have a social life anyway to be in lockdown, but like to be at a like a
don't
time
say
in
that.
your
Your
life.
social life's freaking comedy. Like, you're hanging out with comics like 4 or 5 times a week. That's like a fucking crazy thing. Like, honestly,
it is pretty insane.
Yeah,
actually, you're probably right about that. I always say I don't have a social life, but maybe that's because I've shifted. I do consider comedy work.
Yeah.
So it's almost like I feel like I'm hanging out with colleagues.
Yeah.
Not necessarily friends.
Yeah.
Even though they are my friends.
I got you. Yeah.
It's a weird thing. I don't know. When you're talking shop, it's like, we're talking about work here.
Yeah, you gotta be. Yeah. You're right. You gotta be professional. You can't just be like a fucking the drunkest guy after the show. That's not a good look.
I don't think I've ever showed up to a comedy show drunk.
Oh no, after the show.
After the show.
The drunkest at the after show hangout. You don't want to be like the. I don't know. You know what I mean?
You don't want to be messy.
Yeah, you don't want to be messy. You're right. It's a professional setting.
It's professional setting, but also the post show hang can be that time to let go and be social. But it's so dangerous, I find, because I'm the type that's like, I'm gonna go to the show, I'll leave at 10:30, and I get sucked in every goddamn time.
Yeah, people are hanging out. You want to hang out?
It's just we're just little energy bolts, like bouncing off each other, and it's a very
You have a shitty day, and someone shows up, and they're chilling, and like, you're just get into a good conversation, makes you, I don't know. It's hard not to leave. It's hard not to stay.
It's hard not to stay.
Yeah.
It really is. So you were depressed in...
I was depressed. Back. Yeah. Go ahead.
Going back.
Yeah.
I love to just go back to like, okay, so you were depressed at 21. How bad was it?
I don't know. It was it's hard to like categorize it. Like, was I gonna kill myself? No. Like,
No,
that was
yeah.
not on the list of things to do. But it was just like, it was just a tumultuous time. You're really thinking about like, what am I gonna do? I had really low self-esteem, and I still kind of do in some ways have a pretty low self-esteem.
What?
Yeah.
See, this is why it's crazy to me to talk about stuff like this.
Yeah.
Because you never... Your outwards perception of someone is rarely correct.
Yeah.
Like, you to me seem very confident on stage, seem very, like, you're a confident speaker. When you talk to people, you seem very confident. It's like, it's crazy to me to hear that, like, you'd struggle with something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't know what it is. I just always did for some reason. Like, I think that's probably like some things in my childhood that I just don't know about yet. But I've always kind of had this narrow perception of myself and accepted less than I deserve in like relationships and friendships even. Yeah, if I'm being honest. And but at least I'm aware of it and trying to correct it. And also like, yeah, I think the last year has been a lot of like good self-reflection and good like, I'm not going to take any more shit.
Life's too fucking short.
Yeah.
Life's too fucking short. Yeah, accepting less than you deserve is a huge thing.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. Do you feel like so you did, have you ever been in therapy or anything?
I was in therapy for a short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it was good. It was definitely good. And like, I learned a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
I just can't afford to go right now. Like, if I'm being honest, it's a lot of money. It's honestly a lot of money. And
that's the honest answer. Yeah.
If I had like the money to spend, like I would totally be in therapy every week, not because I'm depressed, but just because I think it's a good thing.
It's a good thing to do.
Yeah. How about yourself?
Also can't afford it.
It's like over $100 an hour.
I truly think if I ever just won like $2,000, I would splurge on therapy.
Yeah, it's useful. It's useful.
Like it's a weird thing where you have to sometimes be your own therapist.
You do.
And like I feel like I've been doing that a lot lately.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like I'm really diving deep and then just going, okay, all of these things are connected. How do we fix this?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't even have a degree.
Yeah.
And I'm doing this shit.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
How do I pay myself $150 an hour?
How are you with opening up to people? Are you a closed door? Are you like a closed book?
I'm a building that doesn't even have a door.
Yeah.
I'm just an entranceway.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Don't worry. I know what you mean.
I've learned, and I don't know everything behind this, so I might be talking out of my ass. But I learned recently that oversharing, which I do quite a bit, is a trauma response. Why it's that, I don't know. But apparently it is.
What do you mean by oversharing?
Like talking too much about myself, maybe like giving away too much information, being far too open with people, being just letting it all out and not having any secrets.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that would be a trauma response. Like I'm kind of interested in that. But it is more of an issue in my life than it is a positive.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. It depends who you overshare with, right? But
yes.
if you're I used to be a closed book and not say anything. And then I just honestly got to a point where I had to talk to someone. I just started talking to my best friends, and then they're fucking glad to hear, like they'd rather hear you bitch about, I don't know, some ex or something that's bringing you down versus you like carry this weight on your shoulders. Mm-hmm. And I've thought about the times where people have confided in me and like I never thought it was weird or never had an issue with it. So,
do guys talk about feelings?
Yeah.
Guy friends?
Yeah, it depends who you are. Like I have pretty sweet friends.
Yeah.
Definitely, I think some guys don't, but I have very nice friends and very grounded friends. Yeah.
That's nice to hear, because that's something that like I think the younger generation is doing right. I think because we're growing up with like, I always joke, I'm like, you guys grew up with therapy. Like therapy for me, like growing up was like, you need to be insane.
Yeah. Like
clinically insane to go see a therapist.
Yeah.
And like, I do think like people in their early 20s now, like it's normal to go to therapy.
Yeah.
It's normal to fucking talk about your problems. And I find that awesome. I know people shit on young kids, but I'm like, do you want to know what? They're smarter than I was at that age. And I don't blame them.
No, I know what you mean.
Like, I truly don't. I think they're smarter than us.
Social media is like an influx of information, and like, it's and people being open about these things. Also, like we talked about like the oversharing,
yeah.
Oversharing and like over talking about over mental illness, but it's also kind of It's good. It's got positive and negatives. When everyone says they're depressed, or not everyone says they're depressed. When more people are talking about depression, it's it's a positive thing overall.
It is. Yeah, I had a comedian on who kind of described it as, with talking about depression, mental illness, that we have to just make it almost like we're just talking about having a cold.
Yeah.
We have to normalize it to that degree of like where it's almost like a mundane, boring thing where, someone asks you to do something and you just literally say, I'm just depressed today, sorry, I can't come.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, cool, see you next time.
Yeah.
It's that's how normal it is.
Yeah, I think we're ways away from that. But I know what you're saying.
Yeah, maybe we'll get there.
Yeah,
maybe not.
Maybe we'll see. We're
all trying our best, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
But the anxiety thing, I'd like to dive into that because I kind of have this weird theory that like every single comic is anxious, but in different ways.
Yeah.
So like, it's always interesting to me to watch a comedian right before they go up and see what their like weird takes are.
Oh my god!
I don't think I've ever watched you before you go up.
Really?
What do you do?
Oh my god! Yeah, I stand up and I just step back and forth. I try to get hyper and like get excited and get into it and because I'm very expressive on stage. I'm like yelling a little bit. I try to get into that freaking environment.
Yeah.
Get into that zone. I thought that's what you were talking about because I every time at Oasis I stand behind that pillar and just like pace, like step back, forth, and I do that at Beerley's in the back. I used to do it at District or everywhere I do it. I do it every single place.
I'm similar to you.
Yeah.
I have to physically like kind of amp myself up to get that nervous energy out.
Yeah, I'm trying to get away from that though.
Yeah.
Because I think like, oh man, there was so some of my friends came and saw me at Cove one time. When I was doing one of the just a guest spot, and Matt Baker was on the guest spot as well, and Matt Baker's unbelievable, and everyone obviously
Matt Baker,
recording
an album tonight in Tatamagouche.
Yeah, he freaking where you went to school, damn.
Yeah,
but no, he's amazing, obviously, and I'm just like trying to find out like what like make I agree he's amazing. I was just like, why do you guys think he's so great? And one of them said to me, they're like, it's like you just put a microphone in front of him. And that's how he acts before the show. He literally just stands up and the microphone goes in front of him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He's also been doing it for 8 years, I think, at this point. So it's a little different. But
been doing it a while.
That's what it is. He's literally like, oh, he's just casual. Mic's in front of him. Bam, bam, bam.
It's a comfortability that is natural. And you're right. It looks effortless.
It takes a lot of effort. He works hard.
It takes a lot of effort. But the thing is it's this mentality of looking like you're not giving a fuck, but giving all the fucks.
Exactly, and that's it's such a hard thing to follow. But maybe that's what we need more. Maybe I just need to get up and do shows instead of pacing back and forth.
You know what though? Like I feel like with your style, it makes sense that you would be like, because you're energetic.
Yeah.
Like, but it's also just interesting. If you look at like other comics before they go up, look at Travis Lindsay. He's just sitting there at the table. So nervous though.
Yeah.
He told me he gets nervous before every show.
That's great. I hope I never lose it.
Right?
I hope I never lose that nerves.
It's good to be nervous.
That adrenaline rush is why you do it. I don't know. That's why I do it. I love it.
Actually, and that it's interesting because tonight Scott McLean was up at Yuck Yucks.
Yeah, shout out Scott.
I'm going tomorrow night to see him, but he's split middling with Brittany Campbell.
Oh, two freaking workhorses.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm stoked to see the show tomorrow. But he messaged me tonight because I was like, oh, how'd it go? He was like, I messaged him before he was going up to say good luck. And he was just like, oh my God, I'm going to eat Dex. And I said, if you do, you'll get him back, buddy. And then he messaged me and he goes, I totally forgot I'm a killer. And he said that he crushed. And I was like, this is exactly what I mean when I say like the nervous energy, it can work in your favor.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think as long as you channel it in the right way.
Mm-hmm.
It can definitely like go against you though.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for that moment where I'll go up there and forget all my material because I'm so nervous. Hasn't happened, but I'm waiting for it to happen.
Have you ever blanked?
No. Only like very early on when I like just really wrote the joke that morning. It was like, I think it was my second show and I wrote like a whole 5-minute set for that one day. That was what a crazy feat. But yeah.
Just a whole new set.
Yeah, for my second set, because the first one went well, and I was cocky. So I just wrote a whole new set that morning, and I went on stage and did that, and blanked. But, yeah, what a stupid move. But now I think back how crazy that is. But at the time, I'm like, yeah, this makes sense.
it's also a new comic thing to assume you need a new set every time.
Yeah.
What's with this? You don't need a new set. I'm looking over here at Sarah.
Yeah.
I've just had this happen where I've had friends go, I need to work on my all these new jokes for the next time. And I'm just go, no, you don't have to do that.
Yeah. That new 5 is insane. Like I've been doing a new 5 since I got out of quarantine, and went well a couple times, went not so well on Wednesday, as you guys saw, but I
just think it wasn't a match.
Yeah, it wasn't a match, but I did a weights the night before and it went really well. I did like a park show and it went pretty well. So
there you go.
Yeah, you're working, but the new 5s are good to do.
New 5s are good to do.
Yeah.
I only have like 3 new. Okay, I need to ask you about this. So, lockdowns. So like when you actually can't do shows, are you someone who is super productive in writing and like diving into comedy? Do you let writing happen naturally, or do you purposely write?
A bit of both. I will say this past lockdown's been my best for writing.
So jealous.
Yeah, but also like every single lockdown I've gotten better. Like the first lockdown, it was like a pretty depressed state because it was like, oh my God, my life crumbled before me. Like my life literally, like I had shows lined up for the next 2 months. It was the first time I was gonna be doing shows like consistently. That was like my 1 year mark would have been like the first lockdown. So I was starting to get like actually consistent shows in Toronto and in London. I was like really gonna be like back and forth. I was gonna finish school, and that was gonna be an exciting time. And I was working at a radio station, and everything collapsed within a week. It was freaking crazy. And then the second one, same thing, but I was better. And then the third one, I was the best yet, because I'm just like, you adapt and you get better at it. I don't know. How was your experience?
Truly opposite.
Opposite? Really?
Truly opposite. Because the most recent lockdown was so tough.
Really?
I say that I depressed the funny out of myself.
Damn.
Because even the new jokes I have, I'm like, they're all right, but I don't love them.
Yeah.
I'm just like, and I don't know if they can be reworked to be better. But, like, it's such a frustrating, I said frustrating. I know people hate it when I say that. Frustrating.
Yeah.
Thing where, like, you just literally have writer's block. You don't have any thought in your head, any funny thought in your head. And I know that, like, it'll come back to me.
Yeah.
And that it's just a slump.
Yeah.
And it's also probably because I'm just, like, not doing things.
Yeah.
But it can get really... I just get really hard on myself with writing.
Yeah.
Especially as a new comic where you're like trying to impress people. You're trying to be like, look, I'm writing. I can write new stuff. I'm not doing the same shit every time.
Yeah.
But that's another issue I have is impressing comics and not impressing the crowd.
Yeah.
Which is a big issue.
Yeah, there's a fine line of performing for the front of the room and performing for the back of the room.
It's a very fine line.
But yeah, I think, comics will just respect new material, even if it's not the best. They just respect new material.
Yes.
So I think that's just an important. You have to write, but also my biggest recommendation for that is just write in a journal. Just write something every single day, whether it's a paragraph about nothing or it's a joke, and get in that habit of pen hitting paper every day.
Oh.
Yeah, like every single day. Like you got I don't know. I was literally just listening to Ralphie May's masterclass. Rest in peace. Goddamn. If anyone knows, Ralphie May is one of my favorite comics ever. And
I don't know this person.
Oh, he was in a Los Angeles comic. He was huge, like freaking 600 pounds, and he died a couple years ago. But yeah, he was a killer. He was a killer. But yeah, he did a masterclass at Comedy Store where he just was talking to a room of young comics for an hour and a half. It's on YouTube, and he's talking about writing every single day. And
I think Jerry Seinfeld does that too, or somebody.
There's a couple master classes from the Comedy Store on YouTube, and like Ari Shaffir has one. That one's 3 hours. God damn it! I've only listened to a bit of it, but
I think there's something to that though, because
yeah.
Even if it's just stupid thoughts you have, like I hate how bananas go bad so quick. Like you could just write that down, and maybe later on, it will become something.
Yeah.
But far too often I have said things and not written it down, and then I go, what the fuck did I say?
It's a young comic habit.
It was actually funny.
That's a young comic habit, and then when you've done that enough, you're like, I'm gonna write it down. You don't even care what's going on.
Anytime, just take it out.
Yeah.
Take out the phone, write it down.
Put notes on my phone. I really have this everywhere I go.
Yeah.
I'll literally write on my break at work. I'll write in the bathroom at work. I will freaking find time to write.
That's a really good tip.
Yeah. You have to just constantly. That's what
even
it is.
Even if it's garbage, write garbage.
I think it's a numbers game. I think if you write you write a joke every single day. That's let's just say it's 356 jokes a year. Let's just say if you write one joke a day, even if 10% is funny, which is a low amount, that's 33 jokes a year.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's at least 20 minutes, if not more, per year. And that's like when you start. And then as you do a year after year, it goes from like 10 to 15 to 20. It just goes up and up and up.
Right.
So,
yeah, that's, oh man, I don't know if I could do one a day. That's an interesting challenge.
Even if they suck, though. Even if they suck.
It could be a shitty one-liner. It could be a shitty anything.
It's a joke. That's a joke.
A joke is a joke, even if it's shit.
Yeah.
You're still stretching the muscle by doing that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Stretching the muscle, and you're getting better at it. You're becoming a better writer.
Want to ask you about that, though.
Yeah.
Because you said that you've worked in bars. So you've been a server or bartender?
Server, I've done both.
Done both? Do you find that stretches a comedy muscle because you're talking?
I think the good thing about serving is talking. Yeah, and talking to people you'd never talk to.
Yeah.
Like, I work with some people who I would never talk to outside of work.
Right.
And that's like, different perspectives.
Yes.
Yeah. And like,
you're kind of riffing too.
Yeah.
You're kind of riffing with the tables that you're serving.
Life is riffing.
Life is riffing.
Yeah. That's all I do. I riff everywhere I go.
I just got offered a gig potentially to host trivia every week.
Fuck yeah. Those are great gigs. Do those. Whereabouts?
It's on Monday nights though, which means I could never do guesses.
You can get someone to fill in for you whenever you want to do guesses.
Etay coming in with the suggestions.
Yeah.
That's a good suggestion.
That's another muscle, man. That's another muscle.
There you go.
Yeah, honestly, like, talk to them about that. Be like, even if you miss it, let's say once a month, because that's like, whatever, you're doing guesses once or twice a month. Let's just say like once a month or something like that. No one's gonna give a fuck.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I might think about it now. Yeah, it was a moment of Andrew Evans pitched it to me actually.
Yeah.
Hooked me up with it and gave me this like kind of spiel about exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
You learn to riff, you learn to kind of improvise on the spot. You're actually like kind of developing a character as a host of trivia that could benefit you on stage.
Yeah. One of the best comics in London, Ontario. Justin Gale, if anyone knows who that is. Anyway, shout out Justin.
Shout out to Justin.
He's a killer. Hosted trivia night.
Really?
Yeah, and he's like fucking like yells. He's a big guy. Like, he's just funny as hell. And he's just like, oh my god, he's great.
Oh man. Do you get in your head when you do bad?
Yeah, I've gotten better at that.
Okay.
At first, it was like my week was ruined. Like, at first, my week was ruined, or my week was made. But you gotta but it's both sides. Like, you can't get too up and you can't get too down. You have to. This is what someone told me. If you do good or bad in a show, your reaction should be the same. Why did it go good? Why did it go bad? What happened?
I've heard that, and I've seen it in comics too.
Yeah.
And I envy that even keelness.
Yeah.
Because when you do good, you don't wanna like do this.
Yep. Think you're top shit because that's gone.
You never want to do that. And like you do want to. I do also think, don't shit on yourself. Don't instantly go to your flaws. Be like, I did good. Here's one thing I could have done better. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, still pick yourself apart, but like, let yourself celebrate.
Yeah.
But like, don't get fucking carried away.
Don't get carried away. You're listening to your set the next day. You're writing down your thoughts on the set. Like,
Man, bombing fucking sucks though. It is a shit feeling.
But you're learning. Get used to it. Honestly, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna bomb. Like, you're gonna.
I know. Every comic tells me this, but every
Yeah.
time it happens, it fucking sucks so bad.
If you want to like go up and do the same like set every single week and like not bomb, like, be my guest. But those booked shows are gonna dry up fast. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
they will.
Did you have a strong start? Like, when you first started, was it strong?
My first set was unreal.
Yeah.
A lot of comics have said that. Unreal. As unreal as it could have been at the time. It went really well. I had like some, and then it struggled for like 2-3 months. And then after 2-3 months, I started to like get a bit better. And every couple of months, I look back on my shit and I'm like, oh man, I'm getting better. So like every couple of months, you start to like think of where you were at that point, and you think where you are now. You're like, fuck yeah, like. Yeah. So that's how it goes.
That's fucking how it goes.
How was your start?
Strong for the well, actually. I've seen stronger starts. I'll say that.
You were podcasting before, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure that really helped as you're talking into a mic, and you're, that must have helped. That must have helped a lot.
It did help quite a bit. I always say that, like, I would say my honeymoon phase with stand-up was like the first 6 months. And then I started doing worse. And I do think that there is a plateau, like when you're new. Because I think when you're brand new, you're like riding that high.
Yeah.
But then as soon as you start like throwing in some more jokes or and then you start doing other rooms.
Yeah.
And then you start having bad sets. And then it crushes your ego.
Yeah.
And then it lowers your confidence. And then you're not doing as well. But I do think it's important for everyone to experience that.
Yeah, you ride waves. I think it's marginal returns. I think at the first couple months, you're going to get so much better so fast. Because like those are your first couple months doing stand-up. And then to get like a little bit better, you have to do a lot more.
Yeah.
Whereas at the beginning, like every single set, you're getting so much better. Because one set of your first 10 is like 10%.
Yeah.
But then once you've done like 100 sets, one set is 1%. So
isn't that wild?
Yeah, that's
holy shit. Did you hit the ground hard when you started? Like, were you just like going?
I was going once a week for the first like 7-8 months.
Yeah.
And then that was my New Year's resolution, was to like really just freaking go, and just like, and that was when I was like going up. Like I stopped going out at that point. That was like New Year's 2020. That was like I stopped going out. I was just like, my social life is stand up now, and like that was my New Year's resolution. And like I did it until lockdown.
Right. Until you literally couldn't. Have you ever done a virtual show?
I did a couple. Yeah.
How'd you find
it? Sucks, but like it was a good experience. Like the first, but like yeah, like you're doing material. You take it seriously. At the first couple, I wasn't taking it seriously, and then I started taking them seriously. And then when you take it as seriously as an open mic, then you start to get actually like good feedback. And I wanted to do comedy. Yeah.
Yeah. So fucking do it.
Yeah.
That's a really good attitude to have.
Yeah.
Is to just do it.
Yeah.
Oh man,
did you ever do any?
No.
Yeah.
And I don't think I would like it at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't know what it is. I would do like a live podcast live stream.
Yeah.
But the idea of just not seeing faces, not hearing sounds.
Yeah.
It would really get to me.
Yeah. Yeah, the ones I did this one in Toronto that was run out of Toronto, and they did a really good job with it.
Yeah.
They did a really good job with it. They had like a following. I think it was like friends of the guy that organized it, but they would get like the same like or similar 15, 20 people, and they would all like they would exaggerate their laughs. I'm not stupid, but like they would laugh when it wasn't like necessarily the funniest thing in the world. Let's be real, but that it's like when it helps you out, it helps because like everyone's freaking nervous. It helps you out a bit, So whatever.
Interesting. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, maybe I'm open to it, but
hopefully you don't have to anymore. Hopefully it's done.
Hopefully
those days are done.
That's what we were talking about before we start recording, which is that Etay just got his second vaccine.
Yeah, freaking yesterday. Yeah, last night was miserable. Oh my god, today was miserable until now.
It really takes it out of you, eh? Like,
yeah, I woke up and I literally thought I was suffocating because I couldn't breathe. It was like my breath was so short, my chest was so swollen. It was wild.
Oh my gosh,
it was wild.
Do you get sick a lot?
No, never.
Really?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm freaking good.
I do think that when men get sick, they're kind of babies.
Oh yeah, I'm a fucking miss my mommy. I'm gonna see my mom in like 2 weeks. I haven't seen her in 7 months. God, I miss her. Yeah.
Shit. Oh man. Yeah. So let's talk family. So you said that you grew up in an immigrant family?
Yeah, my parents are both from Ukraine. Damn.
Oh wow.
They're fresh off the boat. Like they came here in their 20s.
Yeah.
And like me and my brother are like first generation born in Canada. Yeah.
Oh nice.
Yeah, like my damn, like yeah, they freaking escaped. Like my family escaped the Holocaust. They escaped like the Ukrainian famine. They've escaped famine, like genocide, everything.
Shit.
We're alive. We made it.
And what was what was it like growing up? Did you have a strict upbringing? Were they like laid back?
My dad was a little stricter. My mom was a little chill. My brother's 13 years older than me.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, so he really paved the way, But older siblings get the worst end of the stick, and younger siblings definitely get like the lesser of the stick, more chill. Yeah. So yeah, it was a good time. Like it was definitely an interesting house, but yeah, it was cool. I talk about being an immigrant on stage sometimes. I haven't made any jokes that stick really yet, but I like the idea.
Yeah,
I got this weird ass name like
Kuperman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is different for sure.
Yeah.
It's like where's he coming from?
Yeah. But no, we're from Ukraine through and through, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's amazing. And do you have just one brother?
I have one brother. He's older, and he's got like a wife and kids now. He's got like 2 kids.
Shit.
Yeah, he's 30. He's 37 now. Jesus.
Who it's that age where that happens.
Yeah, I know you guys are around there, but yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you get into? Here's a question. Do you want those things? Do you want kids? Do you want to get married? Do you want to settle down?
I don't know. I obviously don't really know. I think I'm a family. My parents are divorced, so it was definitely some rough times. But you gotta I think that you shouldn't necessarily want those things. I think you should find a person and then want those things if the person and the situation's right. Because a lot of people just want kids, and then they'll have kids with someone who shouldn't have kids. You know what I mean? Not that happened to me, but but you know what I mean. There's people I just want to get have kids, and they'll just dive into things. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I really like that idea of kind of see what happens, find the right person. Because I always say I don't want kids enough to be a single mom.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I say. Because I'm I know not everyone's like that, but I just go no, I want help because I have career pursuits, so I don't want to be stressed my whole life. I would like a teammate to help me with this thing.
Yeah, that's a very reasonable thing to want.
But I mean, you're at such a sweet spot in life. You don't have to worry about, and also you're a man, so you could be a dad at 70 if you want to be.
Yeah, but that sounds horrible. No one wants to what you can do, bang a 35-year-old at 70? No, not.
I would be the younger woman.
Yeah, nothing wrong with a 35-year-old. Don't get me wrong, but just like that, and then your kid comes out, and you're fucking, how can you can't do anything? You I don't know. That sounds horrible.
Well, you probably wouldn't live that long. You wouldn't.
Yeah.
You wouldn't. You might not live to see them get married.
Yeah, you're senile in their teen years. That sounds fucking atrocious. They're wiping your ass before they're freaking 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely a cutoff, I think. I hate saying that, but I think that there definitely is.
Yeah.
80. Let's stop it at
Yeah, let's stop at 80. That's no kids after 80. Let's make that here.
Stop it at that.
Yeah. But no, it's I don't know. I never we'll see what happens. I never think one way or the other. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I mean, my biological clock is screaming at me. So, I don't know.
I know you like Whitney Cummings. She froze her eggs.
I wish I could. If I had Whitney Cummings money, I would have froze those bitches a long time ago.
Yeah.
I would love to freeze my eggs just to say that they're on ice somewhere, you know.
It's good material.
It's one of those things where 34 is a weird age because women are having kids into their 40s now, but that's not a lot of time to me. Granted, I haven't been in a relationship in a decade. There's no prospects. So it's kind of, for me, it's coming into acceptance of no, that's probably not going to happen for me.
Yeah.
Which is
you never know. Shitty. You never know. Literally, don't write yourself off like that. Adoption's a big thing, too.
Adoption's a big thing. I'm going off the pill soon, so we'll just see what happens.
Why not? Fuck it.
Hot girl summer.
Yeah, just pull it away. Just pull the net away. Fuck it.
Pull the net away.
If something catches,
Oh my gosh, you had such a funny opening line at Beerley's. I laughed so hard because you were just if I go on another bad Tinder date, I'm gonna fucking shoot myself. You said something like that.
I was something like that. That's an emotion you're very in touch with, I'm guessing?
I don't go on a lot of dates, but I want to talk to you about that. I go on 2 dates a year.
Oh, fair.
In all fairness, I'm probably due for my 2 dates a year soon. Yeah. I think the last date I went on was literally last summer. Were
you not in Tinder throughout the pandemic? Or?
No, I hate Tinder.
I hate it too.
I don't. It's not something that. The response I get from so many people about dating apps is, I was just bored, so it was just something to do. I go, I'm bored within 5 minutes of swiping.
Yeah.
So how are people spending hours on these apps?
It sucks. I hate Tinder too, but I think it's kind of the way of the future, and we gotta almost accept it. That's...
It's a brutal exception. Yeah. You're not wrong.
You meet some people, and they'll be like, I can't even imagine meeting someone not on an app. That's some people live that life entirely.
Yeah. That's wild. Are you going on a lot of dates here in Halifax?
Not a lot. I was going on a couple here and there.
Yeah.
I was seeing a girl for one point for a bit, but nothing too serious. I also every single girl I went on a date with, I was like, oh, I'm probably gonna leave in a couple months. So lower your expectations, and if that's, be honest. I was like, if that's not something you're into, then we should stop. You know what I mean?
Good. You should be honest.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to these people. And be like, I'm gonna be here forever, and they're like, I'm not gonna lie to these people.
And you want to know what? Women, this is on us too.
Yeah.
When you say things like, yeah, we're talking, but he's moving soon, and I don't know. I just go, okay, what kind of person are you? Are you going to get attached and get the feelings but deny that you have the feelings because you're just having fun.
Yeah.
Like I'm the type to be like, okay, well, let's not bother with this because I will end up liking you.
At least you know that about yourself.
Yeah.
That's like, I'm sure that's come from like knowledge and like experiences.
Yes, it has.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much so just like, stop before it starts. Like, like I don't want the hurt. Like, let's not like get closer and have the hurt be worse when it happens, in my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, dating it's what are some things that girls do on dates that's like fucking annoying? This is what I want. This is what I want to know.
The fuck, like I can't. There's just.
I need to know it all.
Honestly, like, I think that joke was more of like a ironic thing. I don't know if I go on any dates and I remember like this girl is just like, what is she doing? You know what I mean? I never like had that many dates like that.
Oh, that's good.
I never had that many bad experiences on dates. But like, you know, main thing, I'm like, you know, you'll go on a date and sometimes it's not a good experience and not a good connection. Like I'm a bit of an interrupter. I don't know if you can tell.
You're doing pretty good.
I was just like a bit of an interject my own opinion. I went on a date with this girl a couple months ago and we just went for a walk and she would like say things and I would just interject, and like every time I would interject she would like let me speak and then finish her thought. Like she wouldn't even like, I don't know, it was just like so robotic. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like we're having a conversation. It's like she wanted to have a monologue more than a conversation, you know? But also some people fucking don't like interrupting. I don't know.
You are not that bad. Like I haven't noticed.
Maybe it's in my head. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I get excited. I'm just like, like
you're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I do know a lot of men who are really bad at that.
Yeah.
And they interrupt a lot, and it is very much so like a just wait a second. Like you say filler language over people, like yeah, like or like stuff like that. But like it is an art figuring out like when you can talk or when you should. Because I do agree with you, that would really suck on a date. Like here I'm just gonna hear a TED talk and wait for my chance to speak.
Yeah, it's people that don't want to have a conversation. They're just waiting to speak.
They're just waiting. Yeah, I don't like that. That's no fun.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like to do on dates? Do you do coffee, dinner, drinks? What's your go-to?
First date, I always go for a walk. Point Pleasant. That was my move. Yeah.
Point Pleasant for a walk.
Yeah, and that at least you know, like right off the bat, you're like, all right, is this person gonna be cool? I don't know. It's you don't like have to spend money or anything. That sounds wild.
I love that you picked Point Pleasant. That's like mildly rapey.
Is it? I wouldn't know. I'm not from Halifax.
Well, you know, girls have jokes like, oh, if a guy takes you on a hike, it's rapey.
Really?
Yeah, because like you're going into the woods with a guy. But Point Pleasant's like, that's like low on the rapey scale.
If you're there on a Sunday, at 4 o'clock, like you're in the open. There's nowhere to sexually assault someone. Not that I look,
it's a really
I thought that I looked. But
honestly, Etay, like I like that. I would definitely go like for a walk with somebody in Point Pleasant.
Yeah,
it's a nice spot.
Yeah, it's like there's dogs. Like I lived right there too, so it was good.
Very convenient for you.
Yeah, I seem like a douche from all this. I lived right there. It was like no risk. I just went. I left my house and walked. But no.
Sakes. And so, have you had a lot of relationships?
I'm
just asking you so many personal questions.
No, I don't mind. I've had like 2 like official girlfriends, and I've like seen girls. And a couple upsetting things have happened, but like it's a lot of you know, like
upsetting things have happened.
Yeah, like
the name of my album.
I've gotten hurt before. Like it is, but not like but you bounce back and you just kind of figure it out.
Oh, you seem so mentally stable.
Oh, but like
I'm trying to crack the egg here to be like, what's this guy's problem?
I still get melancholy about like some exes. Like I'll like
okay.
I don't know if melancholy is the right word, but I still like get upset. Like sometimes like like fuck like and like I have a big problem with disassociating, so I like disassociate sometimes in conversations.
Oh,
and I'll have like a flashback of like an event or like something like that. Especially when I'm depressed, I disassociate a lot. Which is freaking wild. What I talk about.
Okay.
But,
so you just zone out and you go into your head.
Yeah. So I go to my head. Yeah.
I really want to see your birth chart. Do you?
Yeah. It's wild. It's fucking. It's like to think about what the fuck is happening and like you're like.
Yeah. I actually like is okay, this is a dumb question, but like is disassociating just like literally like you just trail off into your own thoughts and you're no longer here, like you're no longer
kind of
present.
Yeah, like you're kind of like like it's like the classic movie thing when the person's like Etay, you know what I mean? Like a student's like at his desk and like he's like and the teacher's calling on him and he's like having like a flashback in my head and they're like yo
And then, hello, darkness, my old friend, plays over top.
And there's shitty fucking stories, and there's shitty, like, memories, but I don't know. It is what it is.
And, like, how do you... Ooh, hiccups. How do you get over heartbreak?
Fuck, I don't know. I'll figure it out when I let you know. No, I'll let you know. I'll let you know when I figure it out. Yeah, like, shit just hurts.
There it is right there. We found it, folks.
Shit just hurts sometimes. Like, yeah, like, I had a girl that, like, treated me pretty poorly. Like, I guess it was over a year ago, and it still kind of bugs me. But also, like, you gotta, like, I don't know, you gotta think kind of rationally about the whole situation. And, like, you're like, what did it actually fucking change? Like, nothing really. Like, this is, like, a freaking stupid story. But, I broke up. This girl, like, treated me pretty poorly just over a year ago. We broke up. Like, the next week, I had my first show in Toronto ever. And, like, I didn't have fucking time to get, like, stressed out or panicky about it. I just fucking went up stage and, like, you don't have time to you don't have time to worry about it. You just kind of keep moving forward and keep taking steps. And you're okay. Like, and that's the thing. Like, you'll end up being okay. Like, the world keeps turning.
That's interesting that you say that, because I want to ask your opinion on this.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw on my Instagram, but I posted a question about closure.
Yeah.
And whether or not having closure. And I define closure as, like, either a conversation or insight from the person as to, like, what exactly happened and why it's ending. And also, like, a formal, like, goodbye. It was nice. Like a formal, like, no ghosting situation, just, like, a formal close. And I literally asked, I was like, is closure helpful in getting over somebody? And a lot of people said no.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think you know what happened. I think you know what happened. Like, I think everyone really does know what happened. Like, if you...
Do you think?
Yeah, okay. Some people aren't self-aware, but if you start to, like, actually reflect on the time and, like, think about the memories, like, you really start to realize, you know, I think I knew what happened before someone said what happened. That's kind of how I'll explain it. Like, yeah.
So you've never wanted answers?
I have, and it's not been the best move. So that's all I'll say. Yeah, well, not all I'll say. I don't mind talking about it, but
yeah.
Like, it's just not been the best. Like, it's never what you want it to be. It's never what
you want to hear.
Yeah, exactly.
But maybe it's good that you hear what you don't want to hear.
Maybe
that's kind of how I see it.
Yeah. So
where I go, if I'm living in my head, making this narrative as to what went down, and it's incorrect, maybe it's to my advantage that I know the truth.
Yeah. So you do. So what would you, like, go about? What would you go about doing?
I mean, that's a tricky question. I was just horribly ghosted somewhat recently, and like, I'm just kind of left going, like, why aren't we talking anymore? like what's the reason behind it? Yeah. Do you miss me? Did I have, like, any value in your life at all? So
what'd you do?
I sent a voice memo.
What happened after that?
He never saw it because he blocked me.
Before?
Yeah, so it went through, and then I noticed that on Messenger it was, like, the check mark. Yeah. That was, like, it was delivered, but he hasn't.
Yeah. Oh, so he doesn't block you then?
And then it said, this person is not available on Messenger.
Gotcha.
And then I checked other socials and confirmed that I'm blocked.
That's weird, though. If it was just, like, I don't know what the situation was, but...
It was a weird fizzle out. It was a weird...
why would you block someone who just, like, ghost, like, block? You know what I mean?
And this is it. These are the questions I have. Yeah. And so this is what's kind of holding me back. But then I try to think about it from the side of the no people and go, yeah, well, what's it going to do? Like, I have to move on regardless. Yeah. So maybe I should let go. I need closure over closure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need closure over no closure, I think is what it is. I have to let go of the idea of getting that, because clearly I'm not going to get it.
It's a tough situation. I don't know what I don't really know what the best thing is, to be honest, but I just know what's worked for me. You know, like, I don't know.
Which is just...
Yeah. Like, Richard Pryor has a joke where he's like, a lot of girls always got to tell you why they leave. Just fucking leave. Like, just fucking go. Yeah.
Don't ghost people. Yeah. I do think ghosting is so damaging. So damaging. Yeah. I get where it's coming from, but I just feel like there's power in even just being like, I'm not feeling this anymore. Yeah. I'm sorry, but, like, this just isn't for me.
I would never ghost someone I slept with. I'll say that. If I never slept with you and, like, I just stop answering, I think that's fair. Like,
that's what nice rule.
I don't know if you agree with that at all. But
I mean, that's a pretty good rule.
Yeah.
I mean, I think personally, if it's a couple dates, I don't really think it's ghosting. I think it's just a fizzle.
And there's no harm in saying like, but also my roommate like goes on a lot of dates. I don't know, just a big date guy. He's a handsome guy, good like 6-pack. Tinder picture with a 6-pack, you know what I mean? Like, it's like a big dater. And he always, like, if we go on, like, 2 dates with a girl, he'd be like, you know what? I'm sorry, I'm not feeling this. And that's fucking hats off to him for that.
Hats off. I've had guys reject me, like, instantly. like, you know, we'd go on the date, and then I would get the follow-up text that would just be like, I see this as a friend thing.
That's a freaking good thing, though.
And I'm like, you know what? It sucks to hear, but at least you told me.
Yeah.
I respect that a lot. And then the fizzle out sucks too. Actually, the last date I went on, it was a fizzle out situation where we had been texting after the date. Kind of implied that we would hang out again. Yeah. And then I had to go to like my friend's funeral, so I wasn't texting for a bit. And when I did end up texting him, which was a while later, I think might have been a month later, because I was just like, oh, hey, how are you doing?
Oh, a month is a long time.
A month is a long time. I got the message back, who is this?
Delete your number. Delete the conversation. He thought it was over, and he just kind of was like, fuck it. I get that. I'm very in touch with that emotion. I delete people's number, delete the conversation. Never happened.
I don't think you should do that. Okay, as Etay, as a fucking dude, man. Yeah. Okay, like let me just pitch this to you. I don't think you should be deleting numbers because as a dude, okay, I'm about to pop off. Yeah. As a dude, you want to fucking fuck as many people as possible, right? So why would you if a girl a month later is like, all of a sudden I want to fuck Etay. Yeah. And messages you and you say, who is this? You are ruining it for yourself.
Yeah, I can see that happening too, but I just like I mean more like anything that upsets me. God, it sounds so. It upsets me and never happened. Maybe that's my fucking mental illness. Like that's my sickness. Delete the number, delete all the pictures. I don't have any pictures of any ex. It never happened.
Oh, it never happened. So if you're really hurt by someone, you will be the one to block.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you block, delete?
I block, delete
pictures. Oh, so do you even delete public pictures? Like
I fucking never post public pictures. I think I posted like my two like long-term my two big exes that I've had, like one was in high school, one was in like my first and second year of university. I posted a picture of each of them and I archived them. I think that's fairly reasonable. But I also I honestly I had the picture of my second ex on my Instagram for a long, long time, and then I just I actually blocked her, and then one time I unblocked her, and we started, and I just I was off her Instagram, so I was like, I guess this makes sense. Also, she had another boyfriend at that point. It was just kind of weird.
This is what I'm fascinated about. So like you had her on there for a bit, yeah, and then you made the decision to block.
No, what do you mean?
Like you had her picture still on your Instagram.
I just never deleted the picture, but maybe I should have in hindsight. Like maybe that was like a freaking. I had it on for way too long. Maybe that was weird. No one ever. I don't think it was. I just didn't care. I didn't think it was that weird. I don't know. If you see my Instagram, it's freaking ridiculous.
It is.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
A little bit all over the place.
It is. I'll be honest. Like freaking captions make no sense. There's a picture of my back hair. Like I don't fucking know. I'll be honest.
I'm pro. I mean, I think. Fucking. Do you know who Carmen Electra is?
Of course, I know who Carmen Electra is. No, I'm not. I just read the Motley Crue book, and I forget which one was banging Carmen Electra, but I don't know. Like Robin was.
Was it?
I think it was Tommy Lee.
Yeah. Was it Tommy Lee?
I'm pretty sure it was Tommy Lee.
I know Dave Navarro was, but that's someone else.
No, but I know. I'm pretty sure it was Tommy Lee. I know freaking like Dennis Rodman dated her.
Okay.
Freaking who else dated her?
Like, who?
Derek Jeter.
Who wouldn't date her?
Yeah, fuck yeah, I would.
She is one of her stances is like she has her ex's names tattooed and she won't remove them because she goes, they were part of my life, and even though there's hurt there, they were still like a chapter in my life.
Yeah.
How beautiful is that?
That is not for me. I'm not I'm not tattooing anybody's name on my fucking body, God forbid. But
you're like, that is my line.
Yeah,
no ink.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I have some tattoos, but no freaking ex's names. God damn it.
I mean, do you have any tattoos?
I have a couple. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kind of scattered around me.
Okay, what are they?
Oh, I have like a hot dog on my butt. I have
what?
I have a hot dog on my butt. I have like an elephant on my ribs. Like it's fucking huge. I have like a dog paw on my calf. I have a lizard on my back. A smiley face on my back.
Animal guy.
I think that's it. Yeah. They're not even supposed to be animals. They just are, I guess. But yeah. But yeah.
Do they mean anything, or are they just
some of them? My mom is the lizard on her back as well.
Oh, that's sweet.
The smiley face on my back. I don't know. I was doing Molly and my friend had a stick and poke, and she was like, "I'll give you a tattoo." I'm like, "All right, give me a tattoo." Like,
why not? I actually think spontaneous tattoos are better.
That's the only one I have. I don't know if I'll. And it was like a poorly drawn smiley face also. It looks like a V, like not like a smile.
I want to see this.
I could take. I could show anyone. It's fine.
Can you show it?
Yeah. Should I? Okay.
Let's put it right on Etay for this long shot. Oh wait. Yeah.
Should I do this right
Go
here?
over to the chair a bit more.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh my gosh, it's tiny. You can kind of see it. Yeah. I'll zoom in and post.
Yeah, but
that's.
Yeah, I love it.
I love shit like that,
Yeah.
like stupid tiny tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pro.
Yeah, I know you have the one in your ribs. I can see.
I have a big one on my ribs, which is just music notes.
It's a friggin' painful spot. My ribs are fucked.
I felt like a badass when I got that rib tattoo.
Yeah,
I won't lie.
It's pretty badass.
It's pretty awesome. I'd like to get more, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, I think I'm the person who gets really sentimental ones.
Yeah.
But I would just love to get like something really dumb. I don't even know.
Yeah, fuck it. Get a hot dog in your butt.
I do love hot dogs.
Yeah, who doesn't? They're
so
fucking
maybe
delicious.
that would be sentimental.
Yeah, I was just traveling with a couple of buddies and we all got the same one. So
That's hilarious.
it's very frat boy-esque, I'll be honest. That's a very frat boy. I don't know.
So you said that you don't post pictures with your girlfriends.
I haven't had a girlfriend in a while, but I
How
posted
long?
like one for each girlfriend. That's all. That's it.
How long have you been single?
I've had like not relationships, but you're dating someone. You're not like officially like dating. I've had a couple of those in between, but the most recent like official like ex girlfriend that we broke up when I think it was right before I turned 21.
Okay, so like 3 years ago.
3 years ago, yeah. But like I said, I've had like I don't know what to call them. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? You're seeing someone for like a couple months. That's what I've had those in between.
I consider that a relationship.
Yeah, it's a relationship.
Short term.
It's a short term relationship. It wasn't like
a STR.
yeah. They required breakups. You know what I mean? They required me to sit down and be like, or them to sit down and be like, it's not working out. But it wasn't like yeah. So that's what I've done.
How do you break up with? I've always just been dumped. So I've never
Oh, I hate it. I fucking hate it.
I've never broken up with someone. How do you do it?
Yeah, you just fucking say like, look, like it's not for me. I don't know. It's like
It sounds like you're like denying a HelloFresh subscription.
Yeah.
It's just not.
Yeah, it's not for me.
I'm not into it. I'm not into
Yeah.
pricey meals.
Yeah, I'm not into pricey meals. I'm done. You done your stick with your shit, lady. Get out of my fucking house. Take your fucking crap.
But you do it in person.
Yeah. I think that's fucking. I don't know. That's the respectful thing to do. I broke up with one person over text, but she was gonna break up with me, and the writing was on the wall.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the text breakup. I mean, you gotta really not care about someone.
No, this is the girl that kind of like, I don't know. I'll fucking talk about it. This is the girl that like hurt me, and like we had a blow up the night before, like a horrible thing, and she said some like shitty things. In my opinion, I think she said some shitty things, and like I just like couldn't look at her anymore. I didn't want to like look at her ever again.
Shit.
And then I'll be honest, I messaged her like 3 months later looking for closure. So maybe I should have freaking gone and seen her in person.
Oh.
But yeah, and then that conversation went horribly too. So.
Maybe it's just one of those things where sometimes closure is nice, but it's not needed.
Yeah.
It's not a requirement.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. It's not yeah. People don't. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It was yeah.
Oh man, do you know what you want in a girlfriend, partner?
No,
Qualities?
no. I've kind of like really taken it. See what comes. That's how I think about it. That sounds wild, but like.
Do you have a type? What's going on with this? You're just like, I'm into everyone? You gotta have something.
Fuck. I end up being drawn to like very strong women, I guess. Not like physically, just like mentally. Like
What an asshole!
Yeah.
In the strong women.
No, my mom. Okay. Okay. That sounds horrible. My mom was like a bossy lady. She would like boss me around, and like we all want our freaking like, you know what I mean? Like that's like the PDS Rex thing where like women date their dad, men date their moms.
Yeah.
So it's like my mom was like a bossy lady. Like she owned her own business. I'd like she'd take me like to the plants, and she'd like be bossing men around, like bossing me and my brother around. The boss is not the right word. My mom's a badass bitch.
Yeah,
so like
independent businesswoman.
independent businesswoman. Divorced my dad, like fucking just bam, bam, bam. Like she also fucking like she was also like a Rolling Stone. Like she's like me, like fucking minds all over the place. I'm a bit of a mama's boy. Oh, fuck.
But that's why. But because you're so close with her.
Yeah.
That's exactly why you admire.
Yeah.
Those traits and like romantic partners. There's nothing creepy about it. It
No.
actually makes a lot of sense.
It does. What's your type, Sarah? That's a nerve.
I mean, I don't know. To be honest, it's comedians.
Maybe. Fuck.
I've kind of exhausted that. Oh, actually, that's a great question. Do you think comedians should date?
I don't know. It makes friends.
I ask this a lot on the pod. I'm always curious because most times the female comics say, "Yeah, there's probably nothing wrong with that," and most times all the males go, "Not a good idea."
Yeah, I'm a bit of a sensitive bitch. I can't shit where I eat. I get fucking. Some people can like fuck someone and then show up to work the next day and like not even think twice. I'm like weird. And
but what if you're not on this? You can just like not do the same shows as her.
Yeah, but it's just I don't know. When I cross that bridge, I'll get there. I haven't had a chance to fuck a comic yet.
Okay.
Like,
yet. Listen to him.
Well, it could. You know what I mean? Like, who knows what'll happen? Like, I don't.
It could happen.
I know a lot of comics that are dating other comics, and yeah.
I think there'd be more pros than cons.
Yeah.
But I understand why people wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, like I wrote a joke about a guy that rejected me who's a comic here.
Oh damn! I'm so fucking curious, but like, anyways.
We're in it, and I don't think he listens, so I'll talk about it. But I'm just gonna be vague as to who it is. Yeah, I really really liked this guy, and like he was just like, I only consider you a friend, and he was so nice. Like he gave me so many compliments, and so like I then wrote that like friend zoning joke where I'm essentially just like,
oh my god, that's about a comic.
Mocking him.
Has he seen it?
Yeah.
You've done it in front of him? Wow, that's wild.
So
that's fucking personal on a
that happened
level.
recently, right before this third lockdown.
Yeah.
Where I did the joke, and I didn't. Obviously, I didn't deliver it as well. So I was like, this guy's in the fucking crowd, and I'm direct quoting him.
Yeah.
I'm direct quoting. There would be no like wiggle room of like maybe it's not about me. It was like a direct.
Yeah,
quote.
but if you're a freaking comic, you should like understand that. I think like a lot of my exes that I was dating, well, I was relationship when I was doing comedy, I'd write jokes about them, and some of them were okay with it. One of them was really pissed at it. But if you're a comic, you should be like, you should understand that.
It was like part of the thing.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
That you accept when you're, but with this one, like, it felt so bad that I'm never doing the joke again. I'm canning it.
Fair. You know what?
And it was fine, and he was very nice. He went to the show. He even said like good set, and then like he went home, and I messaged him, and I was just like, I am so sorry. That was the pettiest thing I've ever done in my life, and like I will never do that again. About a comic. Maybe if they're a normal person who's not at shows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe I could get away with that. But I really learned a lot from that. And it was the first time ever that I went, oh, I know why comics don't date now. Because if you're writing jokes about breakups or you're writing jokes about your life, and then you risk running into these people when you're out working it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
It can feel shitty.
Fuck, I'm so curious, but I'm not going to ask now. But
I just have really good taste, okay?
Yeah.
I have really good taste in men.
Yeah.
I don't know. Types are weird. My friend Geneva says that types aren't actually a good thing because it's just a record of things that didn't work out for you.
That's a good point. Yeah, it's a good point. I don't know. I don't really have a type. Everyone asked me that. I kind of like girls always look different. I don't know.
but they're all strong.
I would call them strong. But also like sometimes I don't know. Fuck. I think
you're young. You're figuring it out. You don't need to have a type right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're just kind of open.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
You're open. His DMs are open, ladies.
Yeah.
This is like, I will say it is strange doing this podcast. I'll warn you about this. Because when you do this podcast, your Tinder dates will probably creep you on here before.
I have so much whack crap on my Google. Like, oh my God, from like this like stupid shit. Like when I ran a podcast, when I worked for a radio station, ran a podcast, just pops up, and it's fucking horrible. Those were like the early days. I was so fucking
yeah.
It was horrible. I have like my freaking chess rating from doing chess competitions as a kid is on Google. That's one of the first things that pops up.
Rating?
Yeah, that's what freaking my because I played chess, and like when you play chess, you get like ratings.
I thought you said
chess. No chess. That's what Tal. So Tal said in her roast about me for FIFCO for Kieran.
Oh yeah, the roast.
That's what she said about me. She said your chess ratings, like some shit like that. She found when she Googled me. So yeah, that's some whack crap when you Google me.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That whole roast battle thing, that's another thing I'll never do again. I'm never going to judge a roast battle again. Why?
Who cares? I think you voted for me. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember for sure. Maybe you did. I don't know. But Tal's great. So
she's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I there's a lot of things I admire about her.
Yeah.
How she delivers stand up. Like,
no, she's
just the calmness and the patience. And I'm just like, oh my God. I'm just like an eager beaver when I'm up there. I'm just like, one joke after another.
Yeah.
Gotta go quick. But she really takes her time with it.
Yeah. You're like emotion full like me. And one thing I've learned is that when you're fucking fast talking and you're energetic, the pauses mean so much more.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll say that.
Hey, that's a ding ding ding.
That's a ding ding ding, yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah.
But so much of it is like letting the laughs happen and letting them fade.
Yeah. I've been thinking about this a lot. Like I've been talking about this. Like I love Doug Stanhope. If you guys are into Doug.
Yeah.
Doug like will talk over laughs every single fucking time. Like he'll just like blah, blah, blah. He'll be like tag, and the laughs get crazy. Like people just
don't have time to stop because he's just adding on to it.
It's such like a fucking like that's like kid laughing when you're a kid and you're in the playground. You're just fucking dying. That's what Doug is. Like Doug is my fucking. He's one of my favorites. Oh my God, I just freaking read his memoir.
Oh,
Fuck,
nice.
he's amazing.
Yeah, check him out. I know of him, but I don't know enough about him.
Oh my God, yeah, like freaking No Refunds is on YouTube, and that is one of the best specials I've ever seen. Like I showed it to my friends, and it feels like 20 minutes. It's not like it's like some hours are tough to watch. No Refunds, Doug Stanhope. Fuck, it goes by. It's like and it's done, and you're like, that was an hour. It was fucking fantastic. No Refunds.
No Refunds.
There's another one too. Fuck, I forget the name. No Place Like Home. Unreal too.
Nice.
I've only seen those two, but those are unreal.
Oh my gosh. Do you have any comedy goals?
I have no idea what even a goal is. You know what I mean? Because I don't know what the fuck it is. Like I would like to headline and shit, but I don't know.
That.
I don't know what my goals are.
Your answer because it's so realistic.
Yeah, like I don't know what the goals are. Like I don't know.
I feel like you're like. And I don't want this to come off offensive because I think I'm the same. I think you're enjoying being an open micer. You're making the best out of being new.
Yeah.
And just doing as much mics as you can. And I think that is like so important when you're starting out for like first couple years of comedy. Like relish in having the chance to do it and craft it.
No, you should. I had a perspective change very recently. Ooh. It was like when I got here, like I did my showcase went really well. I'll be honest. It wouldn't like I killed my showcase, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna yucks like next week. Like you know what I mean? Like, and like you're waiting for that. The call never comes, and like you start to realize like that's a fool's errand to like wait for that. You should just like take every set for what it is. Like you're at a fucking District 5 on a Thursday. It's a packed crowd. That's basically a comedy club. Like it's not a comedy club, but it's same environment, same thing. You're getting the same experience. Do well, learn from it. You'll get it. And the freaking Sam Bartle said this to me. He's like, whatever you think you deserve, you're a year away. That's what someone told him. That's what he told me. Like that's a freaking great tidbit of info. Yeah.
Ding ding ding, Sam Bartle.
Yeah, that was a great tidbit of info. And like, so whenever you think you're ready for something, wait a year. Then you're ready for it.
Wait a year and don't expect it to happen tomorrow.
Yeah, and don't be eager. Oh, like what's the freaking word? Egotistical about it. Don't be like, I'm on Yuck Yucks. I'm on Comedy Cove. I'm a headliner. Like you're doing a set. Like enjoy your freaking set. Like there's headliners in Toronto that'll do like a headline show and then take an Uber to a 4-person open mic, and that's useful. They take them equally as seriously.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is, that's the humbleness that you truly need as a comedian, I think, to be successful. Yeah. I mean, granted, I'm sure there's probably a lot of cocky people who have gotten success, but I just love that idea of like you give your all to everything. Of course, there's going to be mics. We've all had the mics where it's like 2 people.
Yeah.
And like everyone's tanking their sets because they just want to get through it.
Give those 2 people a good show.
Give them a good show.
Yeah.
I love that.
They're spending their time, take their time seriously.
And you're spending your time.
Yeah.
Like it's your night too. Like you have control over your night.
Yeah.
And how it goes. So why not try to make it something?
Yeah.
Have you had any show like moments in comedy where it was like I just use the word crushing to describe sometimes like how it feels when you don't feel good enough. Have you ever had those moments where you're like, I'm just not cut out for this fucking shit?
Yeah, like I remember there's a headliner in Ontario. His name's Jason Allen. You ever heard of him?
No.
He's unbelievable. He's like headlined.
Jason Allen?
Jason Allen, yeah, he's unbelievable. Yeah, he just came into an open mic in London when I was doing it, and he went like a couple spots before me, and he destroyed. And you're like, fuck. I'm never gonna be that good. You're like, this is it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and you're like, fuck. Like, you will go home and you're like, damn. Like, that's so like it's not upsetting. Like, and also like Jason Allen. Oh my god, he's the nicest guy ever. Freaking guy like comes up to talk to me after. No, not talk to me. Like he talked to like everybody after. Like I had a conversation with him after because I was like, damn, you were fucking unreal. And we were just like back and forth. Follows me on freaking Instagram. This freaking like hot shot. This dude, and I've met a lot of headliners that are douchebags.
Yeah.
But anyways, and this guy was like, oh my god, I paid to see him a couple times, and I'm a fan as much as I am as a comic. I'm a fan of this guy now, but that's just an example of you go home and you're a little bit distraught. You're like, fuck, and like,
and then you're like, oh, this person, likes me.
Yeah, he liked me, but I don't think he liked my I don't think he liked me like that way. Like I like my comedy, but he was just a nice guy. But my main point I was saying was like I was just discouraged. I was like, I'm never gonna be that good. But then then you think, oh, he's been doing it for so much longer than me. Like, it all comes to you whenever it comes to you.
Yeah, it's just fucking. I always I need to put a sign like in my bathroom, like around my apartment that just says, "Focus on your own shit."
Yeah.
Focus on your own shit.
Yeah.
Because the comparison aspect of comedy can be very tough. And I don't know if it's tougher for females. It might be. Because there's a weird scarcity complex where we think there's only going to be so few of us. But it's just like social media, right? Like if you were scrolling social media and, oh, this person's hotter than me. It's even worse if they're funnier. Yeah. Like it's even fucking worse if they're funnier than you.
It's natural human whatever nature to compare yourself to others, especially your peers and the thing you do that you work towards.
Yeah.
But if you freaking go to every single Gus's pub and you're like, oh my god, why is Travis Lindsay better than me? Like, what the fuck are you? You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? Like, that's not a way to think. Like every single day.
Add 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do comedy 10 years. See where you're at. Like.
Yeah.
And just like focus on getting better, and like that's kind of the main thing that because that's okay. This is like my thought on the last thing I'll say about that, but it's like let's just say theoretically speaking, let's just say I'm moving back to Toronto. Let's say I came here and I featured at Yuck Yucks, or I featured at Fuck All Everywhere. I featured everywhere I went. What am I going to do? Go back to Toronto and be like, I featured at Yuck Yucks Halifax? Like, that's not going to make a difference. All that's going to matter is how good I do at that open mic back in, you know what I mean? Yeah. So by that same vein, like, just get better. That's all that matters. Like, your credits don't matter because all that matters is, all right, you're funny. Go on stage. Let's see how funny you are.
Yeah, you have to literally prove yourself constantly.
Yeah. And
it actually won't stop ever.
Yeah. And that's awesome. That's great.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's scary, but it's great.
Yeah. You're gonna get better. Once you're better, you're better. Like, you're gonna get better.
Oh my god.
Everyone gets better.
Man, amped up.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go to Etay's TED Talk.
Yeah. But this is like, but again, like, because I've had those thoughts. I've had those thoughts where like, and you're like, fuck, and like,
it's just okay. Here's what I'll say. It's the shittiest feeling in the world to hear someone's joke and go, I could have wrote that, but they did. Have you ever had that, like, where it's, like, so in your voice?
Yeah.
And then you just go, I didn't write that joke.
That doesn't bother me too much anymore. I don't know. I don't think, like, that's...
Just me, okay.
No, okay. I get what you're saying. But, like, I don't know. I kind of, like, I don't know. I know what you're saying.
It is, but in all fairness, that's all a headspace thing. Yeah. I do think that if you are in a good headspace... you can deal with that moment a lot better. But if you are in a headspace of low self-esteem, low confidence, it really fucking sucks.
Yeah, I can see that.
But it's also just, I think deep down, most comics want to be the best on the show.
Yeah.
Most times.
But that's a fool's errand. Like, if you're fucking going up and doing new material, like, whatever. You know, how can you expect to be the best if you're doing new material? Like, I'm more happy if I do,
say, like, a showcase. Say the showcase.
The showcase
situation.
Showcase is important. You're right. That's like you're bringing your best material. You're literally competing against others for a job. That's important.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
there's so many factors. Like, I think here's the thing that people have to remember. Like, if they are, and I mean, I'm talking on my ass because I feel down on myself constantly, is like, there's so many factors that go into why someone's good. So, like, do they have 1,000 things sucking their energy? Maybe if they have more time for comedy, they're better because they have more energy to do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just stuff like this that I think we also have to think about and go, whatever you did, if you gave it your all, that is the best you could have done at the time.
Yeah, that's what pisses me off when if I do a set and I'm like, I wasn't ready. Or
yeah, I
like,
hate that.
I wrote this new joke and I didn't practice enough times and I fucked it up. That's what pisses me off.
You rush something.
Yeah.
Before it's ready.
Exactly, and that's what bothers me. Or like, you know, like freaking Beerley's. Like, I was hungover as shit and like I freaking went to a beach all day. Like, I should have slept.
Have a heat stroke.
Yeah, like honestly, I should have taken a nap. Like, I should have freaking like stayed home, or like if I was gonna drink, like stayed home the next day, you know. But and that's like, yeah, like, you know.
But that's like, that just goes to show too that like you can't get too comfortable with open mics, because if you slack off, it'll come through.
Don't get too cocky.
Don't get too cocky. Do you feel like, here's a deep question, do you feel like you have your ego under control?
No, it's constant. It's constant battle. Like, it's a constant thing you think of.
Oh, good. That's an honest answer.
Yeah, like you constantly think about, like, you have to constantly keep it in check. Like, you can't get too cocky. Like, you can't just, like, you know, like I said before, you can't ride that high. You gotta, like, just fucking stay mellow. Mm-hmm. Kind of.
Stay even keeled.
Yeah, stay even keel.
I do want to see you be stoked sometime, though.
Yeah.
I think you deserve that.
Yeah, I've been. Yeah, when I get a featuring weekend at Yuck Yucks, whether it be Halifax or freaking London or Toronto, I'll be stoked as shit.
There
Like,
you go.
Yeah, and that'll be a great day. And like, I'm, you know, like, not to be, I'm sure it'll come. I don't know when. Maybe it's like 10 years. Whenever it comes, it comes. I'll be ready.
You got this. You're on your fucking way.
Yeah, I hope so.
I was gonna say, what do you have any other insecurities about yourself, like even just personally, that you struggle with?
Yeah, I was trying to lose weight always. I was trying to lose weight always. But I don't know. I don't like.
Were you a chubbier kid?
I was a chubbier kid. Yeah, I think that's always gonna be ingrained in my mind. But
favorite type of people. That's why he's nice.
Yeah, chubby kid. But
I have I truly think people who were like either chubbier or like overweight, and then they get skinny, they're the humblest, nicest people.
Yeah. I'm always trying to lose more. Like, I always like look at myself and, you know, you never know what the fuck you actually think.
Well, I'm actually fascinated about that, because I mean, we talk about body image stuff with women so much. Yeah. But it's very much so a male issue as well.
Yeah.
Is like trying on clothes for you guys as terrible as it is for us?
I just wear large shirts and I'm ready to roll.
Like, do you find it like a taxing thing to like go and get new clothes?
I never do.
You just don't
shopper. Yeah, I'm not a big shopper. Like, I freaking.
You're like, I got my 3 shirts. I'm good.
Basically.
We'll rotate them.
Dude, I brought like a suitcase to freaking Halifax. I was only gonna stay here for like 4 months. Lo and behold, 7 months. But I brought like a suitcase full of shit, and like, I didn't think twice. I just had one suitcase.
Yeah. Do men compare do you guys compare yourself to other men?
Look wise?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, I think so. But that's a fool's errand. That's a friggin'.
I feel like fool's errand needs to be the episode title.
Yeah, I say that a lot. I do say that a lot. That's a fucking. That's a way to kill yourself. Honestly, you're like waking up every day and like you're looking at like your tall friend, like that fucking tall bastard. Like all my friends.
Right there. That the height thing with men. It's height.
All my friends are taller than me.
And penis size, I think.
Yeah, I don't know how big my friends' dicks are, but I know they're taller than me.
Yeah, I feel like I heard on a podcast, it was like women, like we're concerned about our hair, our skin, our makeup, our size, how our legs look. Like there's endless, and then with men it's like height, penis size, and whether or not they're balding. Are the three main ones.
Yeah.
You're good. You got a big head of hair.
I got a good head. I got a fucking curly locks, but.
No, they're great.
Yeah, I like them. I like my curly hair. Yeah, I like it a lot. It's thinning out, but that's fucking life.
He does I'm standing my ground. But I am curious about that because it's not talked about a lot about men feeling insecure.
Yeah, you get. I don't know. Every guy gets insecure, I'm sure, unless they're fucking I don't know, not insecure. I don't know what that's like, but yeah, obviously I'd like to be taller, but I don't know if I'm short necessarily. I don't know.
No.
I'm just not tall. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm very average.
That's
height.
Okay though.
Yeah, but you guys are good heights for I don't know, for girls. Do you know what I mean? I'm short for.
We are guys don't like tall girls. Is that a thing?
I don't know. I think guys like girls that are shorter than them.
Yeah, they want to feel like the protector.
Yeah.
Like they're in charge, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is great when you're not tall, because any guy will do unless I'm looking down.
Yeah.
You're probably an okay height.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's Some girls want to date guys that are 6'5". Some girls just want that shit. Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're getting close to 2 hours.
Damn. Jesus.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
We do have another segment though.
All right.
I'm curious to get to this one because we're going to end, and I hope you're not going to tell us at this point that you're an anti-vaxxer.
Yeah. Well, I forgot vaccine yesterday. But
we are going to get into an unpopular opinion.
Yeah. This might be unpopular. I don't know. I think it probably is.
Don't hate me for this, but it's time for an unpopular opinion.
I'm not super into Cancel Canada Day. I think that was a little wild.
Ooh.
I understand the point of view. Obviously, there's a lot of shit going on that we're discovering, and that's horrible. But just to, shit on this country completely, my parents have, some insane stories from where they grew up. Maybe that's my perspective. If they've grown up in, this insane communist dictatorship that was just, people getting kidnapped off the streets, and obviously Canada has a bit of a dark history as well, as does almost every single country in this world. If you go back far enough, every single country, every single people have some dark shit they've perpetrated, and I just don't think we should we should appreciate where we live, but also the indigenous communities that don't have water, they need water. So,
but this goes back to the cancel culture thing, where why does it have to be one or the other?
Yeah.
Where's the gray area? Yeah. Where's the nuance? And I would agree. I mean, I think that was a weird thing, this Canada Day, where I didn't do anything. I was oh, fuck yeah, I don't have to do anything. Oh, yes. That's right. We did go up in the water, but we didn't do anything crazy. We didn't get drunk. We didn't light off fireworks. It is a strange thing where it's if you have fun, people would be stop having fun.
Yeah, let people enjoy their freaking fireworks. Fuck, man.
Yeah, it is a weird thing. I do think it's very important for us to know about what happened and to do the research and reflect.
Yeah.
But you're right. This country's also done good things. Yeah. We've done some very shitty things, and I think we are all trying to figure out how to process. Yeah. That's the thing too. It was so fresh when it happened. Yeah. That can we not allow ourselves some processing time? Yeah. I was actually somebody who fucking loved Canada Day before this.
Dude,
truly.
Get drunk, watch fireworks. Fuck.
I did better. 2 Canada Days in a row. I actually did on this podcast. I'd love I can't bring it back now. But maybe in a non-Canada Day format. But we did centuries. So we did a century with beer.
Oh shit, 100 shots of beer.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild. I can do 90.
It was so fun. It was so fun, but it was a Canada Day thing, and I used to go to the concerts. Loved it.
It's a fun time.
Didn't fucking know.
I knew there was bad shit going on. I don't know. I kind of that was the quote they always said, residential schools only closed in 1996. I knew shit was happening. I just kind of I don't know. I knew it was horrible. I knew it was bad.
But not that bad,
Yeah, but... Yeah.
But it just goes back to, we can be both. We don't have to be anti-Canada. Yeah. Totally.
That's the thing,
we could very much so be in worse places.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That's what we gotta realize. Canada's one of the best countries to be in the world, I would argue. Yeah, I couldn't think of a better place to be born. Statistically, I'm fucking hella happy I'm born here.
Right? We're not in the States, guys.
Yeah.
Not in the States. Etay, this was lovely.
Yeah, definitely had a good time.
Oh my gosh, thank you so. Can you let the listeners know where they can follow you?
Etay Kuperman on Instagram. That's kind of it. I don't really use Twitter. I don't really do anything else, but Etay Kuperman on Instagram is where I post all my shit, and it's a bit of a ride if you follow me, but that's really it.
And his DMs are open.
Yeah, DMs are open. Feel free.
I'll
talk all the time. Yeah, I'll be in Toronto by the time this gets released.
Toronto women.
Yeah.
Fucking hit him up.
Yeah, feel free.
Hit him up. This was great. Thank you so much for coming on.
My pleasure.
And
anytime.
yeah, follow Etay. You know, go see him at a show, cheer him on, and follow Intoxicated, and make sure you leave me a review because I would really, really like those.
Yep.
I end these weird because I haven't done it in so long, but you get to ring that bell. Yeah. We did it under 2 hours.
Thank you for listening to the Intoxicated Podcast. If you enjoyed this week's episode, make sure you subscribe on whatever podcast app you use and leave a rating or review on Apple Podcasts. You can also give us a follow on Facebook and Instagram at Intoxicated Podcast, and check out our video episodes on the Intoxicated YouTube channel. Until next week, feel hard and talk hard. Intoxicated Podcast is hosted and produced by Sarah McClellan, co-produced by Sarah Nicole, and brought to you by the messiness of life.